lot of people motivation, right? Those people that are in the top 200, those people that are in the top 30, top 50, that you can see you can actually qualify in those major tournaments, make a deep run, three of those qualifiers in the semifinals. It's absolutely worth to grind this game. And that's
Yeah,
that's just beautiful.
yeah, I think it's great as well, and also DauT in particular. As we look at the home maps here, DauT has had some really unique strategies. The way he played against Yo was not like we had seen before. Virtually every single time I was watching you cast him in that set, you looked at the civs and the maps and said, "I'm confused," and DauT delivered. So we might get confused today, Nilly. But what do you think of these home maps here as we see the civs picked as well?
Yeah, I did have a one game training session this morning with him. He wanted to try something, and I did pick his brain a bit about all his strategies. And he put a lot of thought into that and is like not only thinking a lot about what am I good at, but also how can I exploit potential weaknesses of the opponent, prepares the draft so well. And that is just so much work behind the scene that we don't normally see. And that's why his results are so good over 20 years now.
All right. Real quick, I just want to address this because previously the game plan was to have both semifinals played at the same time, and then the first one would be casted live, the second one would be casted as Rex, and that was to give equal rest time for all semifinalists before that live final later. DAO and ACCM agreed to start later, as Vietnam's internet is really inconsistent at the moment during peak times due to some cables being down apparently. And so they're both aware that there will be decreased break time between the semi and the final, but they both said that they wanted and preferred to have a more competitive match and to have this game played now. So it's their decision. They will still have the break time, but just so people know, this will be going down live.
And yeah, that's interesting that those players decided, okay, I want to have a competitive semifinal and am just hungry to take the full crown on even chances there. Because ACM, if he has to play earlier, we already had some problems. I remember qualifier, I think back T against Jordan, we were jumping servers, even had to play, I believe, Australian server in the end because Indian server wasn't really an option. And that was on the unfortunate side. Lovely move here, and we should see everyone with even chances. Let's talk about those civilizations now. We see Rockslide, Frigid Lake, maps with a bit of water there. And those are ACM choices. DauT, Atacama, and Winged, the more aggressive ones.
Yeah, DauT also has Bulgarians there, which we've seen a lot on Winged. Atacama, we've seen a lot of Magyars, which ACCM has. We've seen a lot of Slavs as well. ACCM has Berbers even. ACCM has, so I think ACCM will like his spot there. Are you at all surprised to see that Frigid Lake was picked and that no one? Oh, excuse me, I'm blind. Never mind. ACCM did have Khmer, and DauT banned that out. I guess realizing the threat if that map comes around.
Yeah, but then still has to face Magias, which feel really strong on Atacama. And that's the power of being the lower seed as well, right? You get pick number 2 and 3 after each player gets one ban. So indirectly, you get the first real pick. And Twitch chat heavily in favor of DauT, 83% seeing him winning the semifinal.
Think it could be DauT versus 7 pros, and Twitch chat would still give DauT a favorable vote. Like DauT versus every other player who played in this tournament, who wins? And people would be like, DauT! just they just screamed out. But I think nearly truthfully, going into this, DauT is the favorite. And DauT is the favorite in my eyes because he put a dominant performance up against Mr. Yo, a player who has already won Red Bull Wololo won. And he he just continues to surprise people with his preparation and overall strategy, and I think that's why he's loved so much, is because there are these players who are the speedsters out there, and they have the micro nerds out there, right? And they have all this talent, but perhaps they're a bit one-sided. Perhaps the meta's too much in their minds, and then players like DauT can surprise them and shock them with what he has prepared. And I think as a caster, that's what I like to see. DauT probably the one big standout as far as awkward, random, surprising prepared strategies in this tournament, while there are others as well. And so ACCM, I think he's going to need to have done his research on what DauT did previously, but also be ready for really anything, because DauT might have changed things, what he wants to do.
Feels very likely, as I said, just preparing for the opponent individually. And that's the beauty, right? We are playing a strategy game. Strategies should decide games. And if we play meta v meta, the macro incredible, DauT potentially slightly behind the top 4 of the world there. Still, obviously, we consider him the top 10. But here, where we see creativity, he's just shining again.
And I kind of said it already, but I just love to see it, man. And with just looking at the rest of this year, with Hidden Cup 4 on the horizon, what's that preparation going to be like? With all these new events that are going to be announced on the horizon, preparation's going to pay off for not just DauT, but other players. But ACCM, he's made it to the semifinal. He had to beat Tato, and then he had to beat Vinchester, a player who had already beaten Hera, right? And so ACCM he's at his highest tournament position ever. Making it to a semifinal, prize pool is going to be insane for him. He is kind of used to being doubted, and for many people not expect him to win, kind of like Velez against Viper yesterday. No one really thought that Velez could actually do that. So do you think that, knowing what you do about ACCM, do you think that maybe gives him confidence that, all right, I'm going to go into this, everyone's going to be cheering for DauT, but that does not matter?
He got a solid 20 hours to prepare from the last set to this one. And obviously, he's a bit in the nothing to lose situation, right? Biggest tournament performance for him of all times. And honestly, best of 5, then kind of feels short, right? He can make it happen. And with the incredible comeback in game number 5 against Winchester, you see how his nerves are absolutely holding up.
I think my favorite thing about ACCM is that he talked about self-belief in his interviews. He said that he talked to himself and said, you can play better than you have before. You're better than this. You can win. And he said that in both interviews I had with him, and he's delivering. So that's really cool to see. It's a mentality thing. And I know that DauT has a really strong mentality that might come along with playing for 20 or so years. So I think this is going to be a close series, Nilly. If you had to guess, what would your result be?
I think I will go with a 3-1 for DauT, but if ACM takes it, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I would say 3-1 DauT as well, but I also would have said 3-1 Viper over Velez. After Hera was up 2-0 on Leary, I would have said Hera 3-1 versus Leary. I could continue to go down the list of results that have changed our minds, or not changed our minds, but shocked us and surprised us in this tournament. So I think DauT's consistency is really what helps us here as well. Is like, he's not really the type of player to show up and not be on point. But I'm with you. ACCM could definitely do it. Big result for both of these players to get here regardless. And I'm seeing plenty of people watching in Twitch chat right now too, who also believe that ACCM could do this.
Could all 14-year-olds please spam their age? That could really help us jump into the game pretty soon. The game.
Think of a better way to say that. That's the most creative way you can get them to type 14. That okay. All right.
Wow.
It's working.
Well.
It's they have the mentality of 14-year-olds. That's what it is. That's why it works.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. I see the tips though.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Nilly. Malians versus Tatars for game 1. So DauT going back to Tatars, and ACCM choosing a Civ, which you have seen on straight land maps, but also can be used on those hybrid maps.
He did pick Chinese the last 2 times he played it, right? So interesting that he isn't going for those top 4 civilizations that we normally see. I actually like that approach a lot, because balance in Age of Empires is mainly designed around Arabia. So if you pick Civ 15 against Civ 1, On Arabia, where your win chances are still like 40%. But if we think about another map, it could be around 20.
Okay, well, ACCM, there he is. He's starting off this game with a stable. He'll make some scouts to get some aggression out. And then DauT thinking the same on his side, Nilly. So similar thoughts to start off the game.
And they love to have the map control here. It seems like Archer opening always puts you on the back foot. And we see neither player really heavily focusing onto walls. Still keeps villagers onto gold for DauT, so he will build an archer range eventually. While we see ACM pulled all of those away.
Yeah, I'm looking at the positions of the resources, and you're always going to have some exposed resources, but the resource in particular that catches my eye is DauT's gold. So we'll see if ACCM can really put on some pressure there. And scouts running forward, DauT just looking to see what's up. And DauT has actually not been able to spot a range or a stable. So I'm not sure if he knows. Not sure how many scouts he's been able to see, if he can pick up on the fact that it is indeed a stable opening for ACCM.
ACM not with the greatest scouting himself. Is going to the left-hand side where DauT is walling anyways, so couldn't really get anything done yet. Now moves to the other side. DauT should have a bit more map control. Look at that unfortunate scouting from ACM so far.
Yeah, ACCM has not found DauT at all. He doesn't know where he's at, and DauT will be happy that that's the case. Both players moving in with their scouts. ACCM fighting off with some vills there. And then here come the two scouts from ACCM. He's found DauT, but DauT, he has a spearman there.
Okay, that was a really nice timing on that spearman popped out. Now 3 scouts here will find 1 villager kill, 1 scout down in exchange. We'll find another villager kill.
All right, so 2 vills. I mean, it's not the most convincing finish there, but DauT still gets 2 villager kills, and that will be liking his position. But then in his woodline, he's got to worry as he loses 1, and ACCM still has 3 scouts, and they're on pretty high HP there, so there's potential for more damage.
DauT not going for any small walls, continues to rest a bit more, but low HP, as you mentioned earlier, means they are scared away by villagers even.
Yeah, and good patience there from ACCM to know that he could do that. And just trying to see what the transition is into now, Nilly. Both are going to have archer ranges, but will we see more scouts? Because the players aren't walled. What's going to be the decisions for the players? And DauT defending pretty nicely here at home so far. I think both players are going to group up here in a second with their scout numbers. We might see ACCM run forward with his archers and a few spearmen. This might be the time.
Oh, DauT even built or researched horse color, so he will play Feudal Age a bit longer. Double archery range for him, loses that scout. More scouts are coming over from the front. DauT with only 2 spearmen, that's not enough.
Yeah, this could be really bad for DauT because ACCM is on both sides right now. And ACCM, very happy to see this. The archers pop out for DauT, and DauT, he's going to be able to hold for now. There's still 6 scouts from ACCM that could group up and hit DauT's resources. DauT has to be very careful.
Oh, but how can you be careful? 6 scouts already in your berries. Make it 5 villagers are dying. Archers pretty late. Fletching only finishing now. ACM finding lots of damage.
Do you think this stems back to researching horse color so early? Another villager down. And a lot of players forget that, or sorry, not forget that. They intentionally skip that in Empire Wars, and then they get horse color as they're on their way to Castle Age and not in Feudal.
Yeah, I even before the event asked Kara about his approach there, and he said that makes lots of sense to get to Castle Age a bit quicker. Just put down those farms early on. DauT floating 600 wood. His macro not really on point right now.
No, it's not. Game 1, and maybe some pressure there. Who knows? Or just ACCM with the aggression. Nearly, it was DauT who initially got the 2 Vil picks, but ever since then, it's been ACCM, ACCM, ACCM. What I will say, though, is that DauT has a big ball of archers that he could be sending forward soon.
But the scouts are still alive, and DauT a bit out of position there with his spearman. We'll find another villager kill, and will we see any revenge kills? Oh, gets 1. Gets 2. Oh, that spearman is doing some work, and he lives.
All right. Well, she lived an extra second. I mean, if you were to have asked her, do you want to live an extra second or just die now? She would have said, let me live an extra second. So that's fair. And kudos to ACCM for doing the nice thing. It just feels like ACCM has calculated this nicely. There is a tower going up for DauT on his exposed gold. But here comes ACCM. And if that tower doesn't complete, this could be a disaster for DauT.
Oh, 65% there. Archers are around. DauT is taking this fight. Nice defense there with the Spearman. And ACM was so active, but did he find the kills? He actually, quote-unquote, only got 6 villager kills. Make it 7, make it 8. Oh god, this raid might be the most efficient one even.
Yeah, he's killed so many villagers, and plus DauT had to be forced into a tower, and DauT might even lose more, and now he's off of his gold. Let's see if DauT can get some type of a counter in, Nilly. He's pretty much, I think, doing the right thing, because if he goes home, ACCM has done damage, and he's just defending from that and falling behind. But if DauT's able to go forward, if he's able to use this force, ACCM could receive a huge loss as he does not have defense here. DauT's also on the way to Castle Age. It's worth noting the ACCM research scale barding armor for his scouts, but he only has 2 at home.
DauT needs to find some damage here. Spearman with a nice move there to the front. Military not really there for ACM, but his tower is flying up, and it seems like with fewer losses compared to DauT earlier.
Yeah, the tower will go up. Let's see what direction DauT goes here, because if he tries to pass this tower, he'll lose a lot of archers. He makes the right decision to run away, but Nilly, the tower's helping ACCM, and ACCM's got some ranged units in there. I'd like to see a few more skirmishers from him, to be honest, because DauT will happily pick off those archers and run away. And do you think this is a good situation for DauT, or do you think it's a better situation for ACCM?
Tricky situation for both players for sure. We will have the slightly better economy now for ACM after all those losses. If he can save those archers and can upgrade them to crossbow later on, that could be pretty deadly. I think DauT will now pop out of the tower, then we'll get onto gold. I think he might have the slight advantage.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same, because he's got a ranged army, which he'll want to make use of. He'll probably clear out a lot of what ACCM had underneath his tower. And ACCM has 100 food, so I don't know if scale barding really paid off for him. And even that, spending 150 food on scale barding is not what is keeping him away from the Castle Age. He kind of feels like this awkward, forever feudal position, Nilly, which is not at all ideal. And DauT and Castle Age could do a lot of damage now that he can get back on his gold.
Well, 3 villages on gold right now. Not a really scary unit around. Has some skirmishers. Yeah, it is Castle Age, but it will take some time till he can take advantage of that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, DauT has not been able to research a single Castle Age upgrade yet. I was thinking maybe a knight would be helpful. He hasn't created one of those either. Thankfully for DauT, he is going to get some walls up in the south. I mean, I assume he is. Because I think that ranged army would ideally break through if you're ACCM, and then keep DauT at home. Just distract him as much as possible.
Botkin now feels like a solid minute after reaching Castle Age. The first upgrade was cute. Wood upgrade as well. Will push that army away. Both players were forced into a tower. This one should be a really low economy game.
Yeah, this is a fun one, man. I don't know if I've seen a difference in Castle Age quite like this. It just comes down to how much ACCM invested, and we can clearly see that ACCM's investment in the feudal age was worth it. But at the same time, DauT's faster castle could be worth it for him too. And so we have a nice little game on our hands. DauT making cav archers. I was told that cav archers are bad though, Nilly. What is this?
Well, I've heard different quotes over the years now, and over the days, and over the sets. Something that we didn't mention yet is that DauT's gold placement was actually relatively unfortunate. Didn't have a defensive gold, although he was controlling quite some area. Just think about it. If he had a safe gold, his Castle Age advantage would have kicked in way better.
And look at ACCM, not hesitating to make a few scouts here to push DauT skirmishers back. I'm liking how ACCM is playing this. He has a lot of military still on the map at home. So he's been able to delay DauT and wait. And I guess on the bright side for DauT, if you're going to win with cav archers, and we've seen cav archers win by DauT, we've seen cav archers from Velez, we've seen cav archers win many tournaments, or not many tournaments, sorry, many games in this tournament. You need time to mass them. And if you get that mass up, then it's insane. And if you can use the mobility, it's insane. But sometimes it's hard to know if it's worth the cost. DauT being in Castle Age this much faster might make him feel confident with the CA, but I don't think that he can easily engage against whatever ACCM is going to send forward. That is a big ball of skirmishers and archers.
Yeah, we need a siege workshop to counter that. Otherwise, he will just get overwhelmed. Skirmishers are now moving in. I think it might be a mistake by ACM showing how much of an army he has. DauT's reaction has to be the siege workshop.
Well, look at what DauT's doing. He's just ran right around, He's going to sit underneath this tower. He's next to farms. He's next to a wood line. It's not a big ball, but here you're using that mobility. And probably ACCM will be upset with himself that he even allowed that hole to be there in the first place, because that was avoidable. Like you said, ACCM showed DauT what he's up to. DauT adds the Siege Workshop at home, and ACCM running forward. DauT's kind of going for those smaller armies looping around approach to do eco damage. He does not really have a force yet to deal with this big ball from ACCM.
Stalling for time. Let's take a look. ACM even mixes in his own Cav Archer into Camels. Interesting choice there from Malians. Bit of a meme misclick there.
Yeah, well, good dodging from ACCM. He has not lost a villager yet. DauT will hunt that down, though, I imagine. DauT trying to hunt it down. The camel shows up. DauT, okay, gets a villager pick. We'll probably lose those Cav Archers, but good harassment there. Now we have to focus on the Mangonel. Can DauT get a big hit?
Ooh, that was a ground attack. TC will finish there as well. Give me ground attack at the right hand side. Oh, that was a good one.
Was a good one, and if he can get the repairs in. Oh my god! What a way to start off the semis. And DauT just flattens that force. So Cav Archer offensively, Mangonel's defensively, 3 big connects, and ACCM, he runs away with 3 very weak crossbows.
The biggest shot of the tournament yet, and DauT, he did not intentionally delete that Mangonel. Actually, ACM killed the Mangonel, and therefore the shot actually doing more damage.
13 Cav Archers for DauT, free thumb ring with Tatars. DauT, 2 town center economy right now, and of course you receive sheep when you build a new town center with Tatars. And camels, in numbers, great to engage against Cav Archers. But I think it's a little worrying for ACCM that he doesn't have anything else and that DauT's going to have all these upgrades. Because DauT will confidently take down these camels, as the camels don't have chain barding yet. And I'm liking the Cav Archer approach. I'm liking the eco approach for DauT, and I think DauT is on top currently.
DauT having to build the defensive siege workshop to deal with those numbers, which he did beautifully, obviously is delaying his own ballistics timing. University was quite late, only clicked it now. Could have been some more kills, but has to be happy how he could be booming away now.
What DauT is about to do with his Cav Archers is he's going to lose some villagers on that stone. 3 villagers down. Jeez. But what DauT's about to do with his Cav Archers, it either hurts or helps, right? He's going to split them up, and this can be very helpful for raids as he gets some counter raids in, and ACCM with very little reaction. Also, as he gets 3 picks there, wow. Oh, he does have ballistics. That makes sense. And the camels are also underneath DauT. My point was, I really should have made this a shorter point, Nili. You've got to have a big ball of Cav Archers, and having them in one spot is ideal. If you don't do that, ACCM can get those types of raids in, and that was with camels.
Maybe some more walls at the front could have been nice. Remember the game that he lost against Capwatch where he had the beautiful comeback. Also, walling all the sides, keeping himself open there. Could have been a better option to be more on the secure side. Economy, virtually identical.
Yeah, but what they're spending is very different, right? There's a beauty in booming with Cav Archers, and this is kind of the big point of why they've been successful in this tournament, is you don't have to spend any food on making the Cav Archers, so you save so much food. And in comparison, DauT has 23 on food. ACCM, who's making camels, which costs food and gold, as he loses some vills there, ACCM has 17 on food. So I think that if this continues, DauT's Imperial Age timing should be way better than ACCM. So ACCM is going to need to clear up these Cav Archers in some way.
DauT has a lot of those villagers on the extra sheep, though, that are spawning with the TC. 300 free food that you don't need to put farms down for. So Lovely needs to eventually send them somewhere else. But indeed, I'm with you. Infield faster for DauT, but another group of raiding units.
Yeah, DauT has 25 farms. So he actually is invested in the farms, and he got that farm upgrade super early. So it takes a few losses there, but he clears that up, and that massive CA is just getting larger and larger and larger. He's at 24 now.
Okay, I like that one. Also like to take that fight here. Not really taking the hill right now, but still heavily outnumbering. Obviously, double the HP here for the CA. Lovely for them to take the fight on even numbers.
I think DauT could have microed that better. You know, He loves his patrol micro, I suppose, but he could have focus fired a little bit more. But he's going to run away, and also right in front of the ranges at ACCM's base. He just picked off some reinforcements, including a camel and some expos. So this main force is going to be tough for ACCM to stop. Again, we're kind of beating a dead horse here, but lots of food banked up for DauT. He's even adding more ranges at home. He is piling on the pressure with cav archers. Yeah, I think ACCM is realizing now that he's letting this game slip. He's realizing he's falling behind, so he's going to do what I consider to be a risky play, but also a good play if there's reward, and he's going to go for a counter. So he's going to use his new army to defend from DauT, as has the TCs there, and both TCs are getting some hits. And then he's going to use this force to try and get a counter in. Not the best counterattack you'll ever see, Nilly, but it will be right next to DauT's woodline, and if DauT doesn't react to this, DauT could lose quite a few villagers.
That's absolutely true. No reaction yet. Loses one. That is something he probably can live with. Even does some damage to the crossbow. Oh, kills 2. Kills 3.
All right, so DauT, I think he's about to tap up that market, man. I think he just did. He needs to sell some wood, and he could click up to Imp soon, and then ACCM, he needs an engagement before DauT clicks up to Imp, and he ejects a lot of units. This includes elite skirms and camels with chain barding armor. I think DauT's going to have to run away from this and maybe mix in some light cav for some unit to deal with the skirms. This is ACCM's moment. If he doesn't want to lose this game, he needs to get some engagements in over the next few minutes against these CA.
Well, Kashik might even be an option, right? Has 8 on stone, 430 in the bank. Obviously, Harsas could be really good. 26 farmers only now. ACM overtook him, but DauT, he is just waiting for Imp, while ACM, looking at his upgrades, might be thinking about way more castle age pressure to come.
Yeah. Bloodline's just now coming in for ACCM. He's continued to raid this gold with camels. It's just like the 3rd or 4th time. You mentioned it. DauT could have walled, but I guess he doesn't care when he has the cav archer so close by. But villager goes down. DauT's not going to be too worried by that, and he will drop a castle, Nilly. You're right. Keshik may be the choice of melee unit you want in there if you're worried about skirms, but DauT just a 1 minute, 45 seconds away from the Imperial Age.
DauT with the craziest economy, honestly. 27 on gold, 27 on food, 13 on gold. That doesn't scream like massive Imp army to me.
Interesting. I think ACCM needs a defensive castle. Tatars do not have... Wait. Tatars don't get bomber cannon, right?
I think they don't.
Okay, because there's something weird with Tatars, and I always mix it up. I feel like they get bomber cannon. In my eyes, they shouldn't. But anyways, since Tatars don't get bomber cannon, I think a few defensive castles in the front of your base would be good for ACCM, and I see some Vills coming out. I'm not sure this is a defensive castle, though, and the army's also going to engage on the other side. That's a lot of cav archers, and oh my god, they just... Well, it's easy to kill everything, but ACCM doesn't even patrol.
And you misspoke there, T90. You said they engaged, but they didn't engage. They just slaughtered.
Yeah, they engaged in sacrifice to the Lord DauT, I suppose. Patrolling army for ACCM in the middle. Here he comes, and now he feels even more pressure to do damage, I'm sure. And the castle's now there, so not much for ACCM to do currently, as he wants to follow to the Imperial Age in just a bit.
Score lead quite nice now for DauT. Runs into the castle himself. Did patrol in. Not the fastest reaction by him ever. Loses 1 CA. Actually, pretty reasonable reaction then.
These cav archers, how can you kill them, Nilly? I mean, the upgrades are insane. 5 pierce armor right now. It's soon to be 6+4 attack. Plus, there's going to be some complementary units. DauT's making trebs already. It just felt like the faster castle age and the cav archers worked out so well for DauT, and this has just spun into a early Imperial Age lead as well. Tough spot for the Vietnamese player.
Yeah, problem is Malians again. That's something we mentioned several times, and that's why we see CA so often. Malians lacking the last attack upgrades for their skirmishers, so they won't be a great option. On paper, champions with a massive pierce armor could be an option, but I think DauT with that ball of CA already should deal with that.
Yeah, again, it's the only way that ACCM can get back into this game is to do something like this. As DauT is, oh, DauT says if you're gonna raid me, I'm just gonna run underneath everything you have. and honestly, this is a great play, Nilly. How can ACCM deal with this right now?
That's a hill in the back as well. DauT can position himself on that one. Will find lots and lots of villager kills while he is fighting okay against that army. Some idle time forced for him. Extremely messy game now.
Yeah, it is in some ways something that if you make it messy when you're ahead, it can maybe give ACCM an opportunity. But I think that DauT has just realized that he has a superior army. Cav archers kill everything, and he's not worried at all. ACCM's idle time is off the charts. DauT has 2 trebuchets in the middle now, and he's just brought them forward to treb down that castle. And ACCM finds himself an imp, but he doesn't get bracer with Malian, so his skirms can't be upgraded that much. I suppose he's going to go camels. We'll see if that will be in time.
Those CA are so low though. Look at that. Towers are shooting, sitting on the TCs. I think eventually ACM can clear this one up, but that was so annoying, and indeed lots and lots of idle time force for sure.
Yeah, like at what cost does ACCM clear that? I mean, DauT's sitting right next to a guard tower there. I mean, he really should have repositioned a bit. I guess there's a lot of TCs as well. But DauT's definitely the type of player who says, whatever, I'll lose this army, I'll make more. And he does have Keshix and Light Cav in the middle. He's just taken out that castle. I think the next wave is really going to be tough for ACCM to deal with.
Look at how DauT is getting the full map control. Outposts everywhere, stables right-hand side, left-hand side. He's kind of the player that invented that on the top level, at least established it. And look at that, DauT, he liked his raid earlier apparently. Tries to go for a second one, rethinks his options. Now the last armor upgrade, he obviously already has Parthian Tactics free for Tatars.
DauT has 4 relics, and the 5th relic is right next to where those Cav archers just died in ACCM's base. So clearly the Cav archers are trying to find that thing. They found that. I doubt that will get that one, but he's got 4 relics. He has all the extra map control. He has 48 military. ACCM has 12, and I just don't see a way back. And ACCM forced to tap out. DauT with the faster castle age and the Tatar Cav archers wins this game, Nilly. Thoughts on how he controlled the game after a rough ride in Feudal?
Purely incredible. Those CA, all the raids, he never took a bad fight in ACCM. Where was his army mass? He tried maybe too many things, tried to take fights at different angles, but that's indeed where the Cav archers are shining. They can dictate the fights, and DauT had to love this game.
Yeah, and I think ACCM had all the opportunity in the world, but DauT knew I have to use the Cav archers in small groups, and I need to raid with them because I cannot engage against that ball of crossbow, and I need to use defensive siege. And DauT got the biggest Maganel shot we've seen so far in the tournament. Certainly, like one of the most important, right? Because this was game 1 in the semis. And I think if ACCM was able to dodge that Maganel, keep the crossbowman skirmisher ball alive, this does become a slightly different game. But still, it was one of those DauT games where he was in full control, and I should come up with another word for this, but there was really no doubt at a certain point. And so we'll go to the KD. ACCM will have some home maps prepared, but it's a good game 1 for DauT, and ACCM will know that as well, that he's going to have to step it up in game number 2. 194 units killed for DauT, 140 units lost, and more food, wood, stone, and gold collected. And I think the big thing here that I want to stress when it comes to Cav archers, when you make them, when you shouldn't make them, is on the technology tab. DauT with a 31-minute castle age, or I'm sorry, that was clearly wrong. He had 1152 castle age, ACCM 16-minute castle age. I actually went back and I looked at the games where Cav archers lost and where Cav archers won in this tournament, Nilly. And every time the Cav archers won, they had at least a 60-second advantage to the castle age, or something close to that. I didn't get the specific time with the Yover Stout game, but I think you gotta have time to mass those units, and DauT did here.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, if you go for CA, you're skipping the archers. Therefore, your castle age should be earlier. Otherwise, you won't get onto these numbers. And yeah, ACCM, we will just see that Mangonel shot quite heavily there around the 20 or 19-minute mark. It felt like at that point it was like 30 army to 8 army on the field. If
Mm.
ACCM out-micros that Mangonel, I think he wins that game.
Yeah, it's tough to say win because there's a lot of factors, but certainly it's even there. It was a risky moment for DauT, and the Mangonel paid off for him, and a bit of good fortune too, because the timing of when his Mangonel was killed off actually helped him because of the delete trick there. So, all right, so game two, ACCM has to strategize, and ACCM has. Is it him? I think he has Frigid Lake, and he picked Khmer rather early on and DauT Banded. We'll look at the maps. We'll look at the civilizations. Yeah, he's got Frigid Lake and Rock Slide. So if it's Rock Slide, expect something like Italians for ACCM, and then probably Portuguese or Saracens for DauT. And if it's Frigid Lake, I suppose there's options out there. But typically you see a lot of scouts there, so maybe that's where ACCM would want to go for Magyars.
Well, we often see that many scouts because Khmer is picked very often. I think Magyars feel very likely. Berbers might be an option. Franks could be an option. DauT loves to play those. And maybe we can go by the system of elimination. Portuguese and Italians feel for Rock Slide. Then we have the aggressive civilizations. Aztecs, Bulgarians probably winged. Franks could also be Atacama. I wouldn't even be surprised if we potentially see Saracens on Frigid Lake.
Yeah, that's true. I think, wasn't that really common in the previous tournament to have Saracens on Frigid Lake?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that was the qualifiers? I forget.
I remember some games. I think Viper also played Saracens in the main event of Red Bull Wololo 2 with, on Frigid Lake Saracens. Pretty sure.
Okay. Well, I see the civs. So it's Berbers versus Aztecs. And Aztecs was not something that I was expecting to see here. Because of that meta of making some scouts walling up, booming, and using mobility. DauT's going to change it up a little bit. And is this another game where DauT's pulling a trick out of the hat that we haven't seen before? What do you think of Aztecs?
This guy. As I said, I did talk to him this morning, and he spoke in languages that I apparently didn't understand. Aztecs feels certainly interesting. I thought that was more for wing there, and yeah. Go ahead.
I thought you were gonna say this is confusing, but you changed it to this is interesting now. Okay, all right. I mean, listen, this is the deal with players who go against the grain, and we've seen both sides of it. Nilly, let's use Vinchester as an example. When he played Hera in his best of 3, he picked civs in spots that I had not seen players pick before, and I was thinking this is weird. I don't know. It's too risky for Vinchester. And then he got results with it. And then suddenly everyone's like, oh, Pog, this is incredible. And DauT, in virtually every game against Yo in that best of 5, had these interesting or confusing civilization picks. So he's made it to the semifinals. He's got to have a plan here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big question is, how will he approach it? Because Aztecs not the greatest civilization at contesting the water, although, well, faster producing dogs, you can contest a bit. I think we will have to see quite some monk play, because it's easy to fully stonewall, and then you take one strong weapon away, and that's the eagle rate.
Yeah. Berbers, historically, they do struggle against halberdier siege ram civs. Aztecs don't really have that, but they have so many options. They have monks if they need it. Probably best monks in the game. They have eagles. That pikeman combo is rough to deal with. They do have siege onager and siege ram, and they have atlatl skirms. If they want to go arbalest, they can go arbalest. I find it hard to believe that would be DauT's plan, though. Not the best arbalest, and no real strong bonuses with that route. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what DauT has here. I'm sure ACCM might be surprised to see that DauT has gone for the Aztecs. or was a bit more towards that meta we've seen this tournament?
Maybe it was trying to outpick the opponent in some way there. We see the stable being dropped by ACM. What is DauT up to? Already opened with... Oh, archery range opened by ACM. While pulling everything away from gold. This is skirm opening.
Huh. So, wait a second. And DauT's going for Doc. Which, I mean, we've seen Docs on this map before, Newly. But typically it's been open with an archer range or a stable, fight, and then go for a Doc later on. So does DauT, maybe just the overall style he's going to change here and how he addresses this map?
Man-at-Arms by ACCM, apparently. Interesting choice. So that's going to be the opening. Was expecting DauT to open with Eagle Warriors. The mind games are on, Tristan.
Well, honestly, DauT hasn't added a range. DauT added a Doc. So Man-at-Arms could be huge, and DauT's going to try and wall up here, I think. But I don't see that happening, especially with the Man-at-Arm upgrade coming in a moment. DauT could be in a real pickle, as he would say.
Let's take a look. 2 Man-at-Arms now out. DauT has to pull those villagers. Already had a really unfortunate game against Mr. Yo there, where he was in Massive Civilization and his opponent went into the Man-at-Arm longsword line.
So there is a third Man-at-Arm out there. It's just back at ACCM's base. So people wondering why there's only 2. ACCM is focusing on the fights. He has not brought the third forward. So that's going to take some time. And DauT has pretty much walled this pressure out. He's not lost a villager, and he does have a fishing ship in the middle. So it's certainly not bad for him. At least he knows exactly what ACCM's up to, as DauT will, at a range, must feel like he needs to add skirmishers.
Now some aggression on water as well. No fire galley? Did both players open with the fishing ship here? Quite interesting. Although ACM should know that the dog was out. I'm surprised
he doesn't have gold.
Finally.
Yeah, he didn't have gold, so he figured let's just add a fishing ship. He's actually going to add a second one, but he's back on gold now. He's going to wait for that, I imagine, Nilly. As DauT just chooses to run away, and ACCM forced to follow all of this. Interesting.
Wow, and why is ACM not attacking there? Was it so scared of the TC? Because you can't wall around the TC. You should always be able to slip through. But we see ACM going for a 4th Man-at-Arm. That feels a bit too many.
Yeah, 4 Man-at-Arms. Maybe he got caught up in it and he thought he only created 2 because that other one was back at home. I don't know, but 4 of them, and then we will see fire galleys in the middle. Overall, Nilly, very close game, though, in terms of economy, in terms of military. It's just, I think Eagles are going to scale better throughout the late game for DauT, and those 4 Man-at-Arms have not really paid off for ACCM, and they're not the cheapest unit in the world.
Funny how we saw Man-at-Arm opening against Eagles, and we still look at a pretty even KD, I would call it.
Yeah. DauT fell behind with the water engagement and maybe pulling his Eagles over to help out in some way. Kind of feels like it. ACCM can easily micro that, though, so I'm not sure what DauT was thinking. DauT will lose his fire. And I guess fishing ships could die to the Eagle Warriors. So ACCM using the fishing ships in the middle now. This is kind of awkward, man. We've got the Man-at-Arms engaging, Archers engaging, so much going on, and very difficult to micro, I'm sure.
Great macro by both, pulling away the fire galley there, microing on water and land alike. Still fire galley around DauT. Can he clear this one up? Yeah, but he will lose the second fight. But Archers could soon help out.
Yeah, and to be honest, again, DauT is scaling better into the rest of the game because he's Aztecs who wants to be making Archers and or Eagles. I've seen Man-at-Arms work really well in this tournament. I've also seen Man-at-Arms not pay off, and this might be one where it just hasn't paid off for ACCM, and he might live to regret this because his Castle Age time will be later than DauT's. Good job from ACCM, though. He'll win that little fire engagement in the middle. What do you think about a demo?
Feels like a risky move. You're kind of counting that your opponent is doing a mistake. Army numbers aren't that crazy, and like if you have a demo and kill like 3 half HP Eagles, it's actually kind of even. So I think fire galleys are doing more work for now.
Yeah, fire galleys are the sure thing. DauT on the way to the Castle Age Nilly, and this has been a back and forth thing on water. I guess the fishing ships have brought in some food, but I don't feel like the difference in the uptime has anything to do with fish. It has more to do with farms and all the normal ecos at home. Is there a hole at ACCM's base between that house and palisade?
Looks a bit like it, right? We always get nervous when people are trying to build something on hills. Doesn't look like it though. No, the house ranges up there.
Oh, DauT, don't tell me he's going to forget here. Still 2 man-at-arms around. Nope, he's going to run away, and still micro in the middle. And good micro from DauT as he is getting the infantry armor. He's thinking about more infantry in castle.
Yeah, well, is adding the second dock there. Nice for him. Also wins the water fight. Eagle will go down. Fire Galley will lose its life against it though, and double kill.
All right. I have to say, this has been a fun little game here. We've had everything. Skirmishers, archers, man-at-arms, eagles, fires, scout, eagle, scout. I mean, it's been a fine mix. This is what you want on some of these crazy maps in Red Bull Wololo.
Yeah, lovely, and that's why hybrid maps is kind of the thing that we are slowly getting into, right? Most of the time we had full land maps, full water maps, but the mix is just so entertaining as well.
Yep, I'm with you. Hybrid is king. And DauT, he doesn't have full control of Water Nilly, but considering he's going to have all these Eagle Warriors out, and the fact he has 2 fires, I feel like this could snowball out of control quickly. And this is the power of Aztecs and the power of Eagles too, because you can create them in Feudal Age, and then just upgrade them in Castle Age, whereas ACCM, while he is Berber's going to make very cheap knights, he's had to wait all this time. He still hasn't been able to queue up any knights.
Oh, and that's interesting, right? Double stable for him, and also enough stone to soon build a castle. Don't tell me the scout is opening the gate. No. I got nervous for a second.
Yeah, kind of looked like it. I think stone walls are the right approach, though. Do you see that ACCM is on stone, though? Do you see he has 500 stone in the bank? That's...
Archers are solid, right? He has the exposed gold spot. The big question is, can he muscle up those numbers? You need to get to at least come archers before you can really hit and run against eagles.
DauT's economy, immediate 3 TCs after seeing the stone walls. So he's probably realizing that ACCM is not going to invest stone into town centers. Don't tell me DauT's going to get through here. Okay, that was very dangerous.
Oh, 3 TC boom. I love that. ACM adding TCs as well, as you can see. Dropping some of his stones. Still only 3 on it. Now the water control here for DauT. He has a lot of map control. I wouldn't be surprised if he now goes for the archery range. Just continues with his pressure.
So DauT he's investing into eco. And that, I think, is a good decision. The downside here is that when knights and or camel archers come out, he's not going to have the second defense upgrade. He's not investing into many more eagles currently. But he's going macro, and he's quite a few monks out there right now in the elite trying to get relics. So ACCM has the potential to push back, but he has to do a lot because DauT will have a bigger eco.
And DauT, I think he could potentially get 4 relics. Sees 3 of them, 1 again in the base of ACM. So nice for him. Eagles now moving out. And as you mentioned, those aren't having the best upgrades. Demo, how well can it connect?
Demo Raft weakens 3 knights. That's an amazing little engagement there for DauT. I think that's worth it. He does need to run away and maybe wait for a few monks and an eagle reinforcements at home. Feels like it's a fight that DauT can take with a bit more and maybe some conversions here. Nearly, he's got 3 monks in the area, but some of them have relics.
Oh, yeah, could drop that one off. And baited nicely there by ACM at the top. And the monk goes down. That was beautiful micro by our Vietnamese player.
DauT will have 3 relics with Aztecs, maybe more. And ACCM goes in. He tries to take this fight. He's not able to get into that monk. And it doesn't feel like he has quite enough to be able to push DauT, as DauT has a 10, a solid 10 eco lead.
And those knights were weakened earlier. Now the castle in front of the gold spot by ACM. And DauT, well, he has to love his life. Sits on 3 relics. Did add those 3 TCs earlier. Now on stone. I wouldn't be surprised if his im timing is earlier. And we will see a castle at that left-hand side. But first, he has to weather the storm with all the knights.
It's just another game as ACCM goes in there. He gets a monk and he runs away. It's another game where DauT gets to Castle Age faster, and he just seems to know what to do with it. Different than game number 1, because in this game he went immediately for TCs, but everything looking smooth for DauT. ACCM still looking to recover in some way, and I think that needs to be more knights, maybe a mix of camel archers once the castle's complete. That will be a bit vulnerable early imp, I'd say, because normally that big investment into resources to go imp means you don't have military. But it all does depend on how DauT chooses to play it too.
Yeah, it feels like Aztecs, they kind of can continue producing eagles, even though you just invested so much in Imperial Age, right? They produce so much faster, your economy is strong, so I don't think he will fall behind too much numbers, now healing up all his eagles. This is such great play, while ACM trying to find damage, but DauT is fully walled.
Yeah, let's see. Occasionally there can be holes in walls that we cannot see. I'm double checking and triple checking here. I see there's a lumberjack chopping a tree. That tree's at 50 wood, so DauT would have to... Well, this is an awkward one to react to, right? Because he has to delete a farm to house wall behind this. Let's see what happens. He's going to garrison his town center and repair the palisades. Really?
Stone wall behind it. Eagles are coming over though, so even if he breaks in, I think DauT will hold this.
I mean, it almost looks like DauT wants to. Yeah, he deletes the palisade wall and says, "Let me at you." I just can't get over the fact that Knights, the unit that's supposed to be one of the strongest in the game in Castle Age, are attacking freaking palisade walls, which you can make in Dark Age, and you can just repair them and units don't get through. I mean, something about that just doesn't feel right.
And that's even after like 3 wall nerfs already in this game over the last 3 years, right? Or demo round. Could we maybe see another connection? Uh-oh, that's dangerous territory. Low HP knights.
Well, the weak ones are in front. DauT's still hesitant to take engagements, I guess, but the weak ones are in front there, so a demo could be helpful. There's also a snow leopard.
I'm not getting that excited over that one, but okay. And demo tries to get the kill in there. Oh, gets him knight at least.
And the snow leopard. The poor snow leopard was killed. Don't forget about the snow leopard, man. That poor snow leopard, he was just hungry for a meal. It's rough out there. Oh god. Well, DauT's on the way to imp, and I'm seeing these camel archers out now for ACCM. So knights and camel archers, I mentioned it 5 minutes ago. This is the point where ACCM probably would want to take an engagement, but it still doesn't look like he has enough HP on these units and enough upgrades to be able to do so.
DauT just with a chance to heal over and over again. So nice for him. Has the 4 relics now for himself. The demo's still around. And ACM, now he will start microing his heart out with the camel archers.
Yeah, no bodkin. And that's... Just compare the eagles, which I guess you could consider a unique unit kind of, right? Because it's only unique to 3 civilizations. And the camel archers and how you have to produce them newly. DauT has been able to spam out of TCs as he gets a conversion there. He's been able to spam out of barracks at the same time. Whereas ACCM, if he wants to rely on camel archers, he had to wait all that time to get a castle. He then can only produce them out of that castle, and it's pretty slow and takes a lot of time. And then DauT has the benefit of building up towards having extra pierce armor with Elite Eagle and kind of countering these camel archers altogether. So it doesn't feel like camel archers are really the go-to here for ACCM.
Yeah, especially if we only have 1 castle. I think the castles could just be used a bit more defensively. I also think that Cavaliers should be the main unit he's focusing on for right now.
Can we look at DauT's Fog of War for a second? Just to show the people the amount of control this guy has. He has outposts all over the map, something he's known for. He has all the relics, and he's dropped that castle now in the middle. And that's a perfect spot if he wants to Trebor against ACCM's castle, because it'll be right beneath his castle. Everything well calculated, everything clean for DauT. And I mean, the way he's playing this, Nilly, makes it seem like it's impossible for ACCM to be able to win this game.
Yeah, it feels like DauT is playing with cheats here, all visible. He just sees so much of the map, expands everywhere, takes the extra stone spots, and then it basically means you can't get surprised, and then the Lord will always, well, come up with the right directions.
I think we're going to see hand cannons from ACCM. He's getting, actually I could be wrong, but he's adding another archer range. He's getting ballistics now with archer armor, so I don't know, maybe it's actually just doubling down on camel archer numbers. and I'm wrong. Or maybe we'll see hand cannons later on.
Chemistry is in the queue directly after ballistics, so you might be right. Sees all those eagles. Hand cannoneers on paper the better unit than cavaliers, but cavaliers obviously cheaper with berbers. Did not upgrade those. I personally hate hand cannoneers.
I think they're the worst unit in the game. Or like one of the worst units
Non-unique.
in the game.
Yeah, non-unique.
Yeah, non-unique unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the gold cost. It's a low HP unit. Yes, they're supposed to counter infantry, but with a couple doinks, they're dead, and it's cost 50 gold. I mean, it just doesn't feel worth it. And big engagement from DauT. We talked about the Treb position and how he'd be protected, and ACCM trying to micro his heart out. But you have to hit and run with camel archers, and you're running back into your base if you're ACCM. It's very different from what DauT did with his cav archers in game 1, because he had so much control, Nilly.
Now jumping into the castle, but that's only delaying the basically unavoidable situation there that he, well, will just have to face those eagles over and over again. DauT with a late wood upgrade, but he doesn't really care. He just needs to find the eagle production hotkey.
Yeah, and I think he's just happy to just throw away a couple eagles there just to get the position. He's going to drop another castle here to make it even more difficult for ACCM. Also, small little point underneath ACCM's castle. DauT kept sending one eagle at a time and was trying to pick off those repair villagers there. So he's able to take out like 5 or 6 while ACCM wasn't paying attention, because ACCM doesn't have murder holes, and his people could be murdered in a second if the eagles run in through the hole in the wall. I think DauT's focus, though, is going to be on the next castle and continuing to take out the buildings that ACCM needs to make his units.
DauT just so much control, gets like the 3rd extra resource here, the neutral ones on the map. And you can see camel archers, they will do well, they can micro quite a bit, but you need castles, and you already lost one. Second one about to go down.
Yeah, and DauT has 4 relics, so he'll always have that gold income. He has 40 on gold, so the KT is unimportant here to DauT. It's all about position, because he knows that if he takes out these castles and the eagles are now in to raid, that he's going to win this game. And again, as we've been saying it, everything just seems so clean, so well calculated. And I think at the very least here, even if ACCM, who's just run out of stone, keeps his castle up, which is not going to happen, DauT still is raiding his economy, and elite eagles with Garland Wars, 9+8 attack. They destroy villagers.
Absolutely, there 3 slicing them, and that's a very defensive castle there for production, but not protecting too much of economy, I would have thought. But those eagles will just kill the villagers so nicely. DauT just keeps on producing light cav against those eagles. Not really the perfect counter.
If you needed a sign that DauT's confident, he's just rolling the traps in here to go after that castle. He doesn't give a crap, man. That's hilarious. He just rolled right through. Like, don't mind me. Just gonna roll right in through your front gate. And ACCM still has the camel archers alive. That's cool, but he can't really make any more, Nilly. And I think he's dead. And DauT is showing how good he is in these settings, how prepared he is. Remember, this is ACCM, who surprised the world, beating Tato and getting past Vinch to make it to the semis. And DauT says, I could beat anyone in these settings. So strong from him. And I'm worried for ACCM's mindset going into the next game.
Yeah, I think knowing him and seeing his interviews, he still will be smiling and will tell himself, okay, take it one game at a time. This one is gone. He has another home map, but then 2 more home maps after that one from DauT then. Uphill battle ahead of him. DauT looking strong.
Yeah, and you know what I used to say for years about Viper and his reign was, while there were fancy things from time to time, normally it was just overall solid decision making, which would lead to stomps. And that's what we've seen from DauT in game 1 and game 2, but game 2 especially here. And he had to weather an awkward storm from ACCM with the Man-at-Arms. That's not something that he was expecting. But ever past that point, he ended up having all the relics with Aztecs, all the relics except 1, excuse me. He ended up Treboring perfectly. His macro was perfect. His timing was perfect. The upgrades were all in. The scouting was there. I mean, if you were to just pick one of the 5 things I just said, that's good, but it doesn't make great. What makes great is doing every single one of them in a semifinal of a tournament.
Yeah, absolutely convincing. What could ACM have done better? Let's take a look at the statistics. I feel like a bit more decisive there. Decisiveness could have been an option. Double stable and the castle. It felt like either go for knights or go
Yeah.
for command might have been the play.
Yeah. Let's look at the KD here. 147 kills for DauT, 121 units lost, 63 versus 26 largest army, and then more of every resource. And the big one that stands out to me there is the gold, which we all know you need to make the Eagle Warriors. DauT with 14,000 gold, ACCM only with 8,000. There's also this thing with ACCM as we go through quickly to the timeline, and you can really see how far ahead DauT was. But there's something about ACCM where he just is fascinated with the Berber civilization. I remember it tilting me during Hidden Cup 3 because I knew immediately it was ACCM who picked Berbers in a spot where other people wouldn't have. And he just was making camel archers because, granted, the unit's really good, but I don't know, not quite as good in the situations they need to be, I guess, Nilly in the mid game. Maybe that was it. Maybe he just didn't expect DauT to ever go Aztecs, and maybe he thought that DauT would go for some Cav Civ, and he could go Camel and Camel Archers against that. Could definitely have come down to DauT just predicting it.
ACM was shaken in that set, just losing to Elite War Elephants on Arabia, something that we didn't see too often. And let's take a look. Rockslide will be the second home map of ACCM. What are his options here?
This one's pretty predictable. I mean, no, I was gonna say he could go Incas and try and put it in viewers' minds that he might switch it up. No, he'd be silly to go for anything but Italians. And I think DauT would be, well, we've seen Saracens and Portuguese, actually. So DauT could go for either. I've also seen Saracens and Portuguese win and lose on that map, Nilly. So considering DauT picked Portuguese so early, my guess is he probably wants Portuguese for that spot. That combined with the fact that Saracens are pretty good on other maps, whereas Portuguese don't feel as strong, leads me to think that.
I agree. Portuguese, they wouldn't be good on anything else. Saracens, a bit of his versatility going for them. Portuguese, so many bonuses. We list them every single time. Cheaper chips when it comes to gold, more HP on them. You have incredible hand cannons and bombard cannons. Then if we get to the late game, monks could be an option. Sometimes we play with low economy, so producing stuff with cheaper gold could come in quite handy. Italians, I see why people pick it, but I'm still a fan of Portuguese here.
We had this conversation before. Italians are fine. Ask Leary. Ask Leary. Leary showed yesterday Italians are fine, man. Italians are fine. It's still cheaper to go up to each age. So fast imp arb or just faster castle age into snowballing water units is good potential. You've got great hussars if you want to switch out of that. You've got the condottiero as an option. I think that Portuguese. So to compare Hera's approach, I guess yesterday with Portuguese to what I've seen from other players, I think Portuguese need to be focusing on water, right? Because the caravels can be so deadly if you mass them. Whereas maybe Italians try and hold that off with what they can and then go for more of a boom. But largely it comes down to player preference. We see some players invest very little at the start of feudal age because it's just a small choke point. And then we see other players try and go for crazy investment into the middle and not expanding at all.
Yeah, I think people that played Portuguese didn't build enough demos for my taste, because they got a bit overwhelmed by fire ships, and then caravels were a bit underwhelming. That shouldn't really happen on Rockslide. There's a tiny area where you can only go through. Demos should be extremely efficient there.
That's a good point. Yeah. I'm trying to think back to when I saw these players play. Didn't DauT play this map against Capoch in round 1 of the group and lose to Capoch on this?
That was Vikings against Portuguese, and we had the caravels wrecking longbows. Yeah, great memory.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So
So,
that happened, and DauT lost, so probably learned some lessons there and says, "Hey, let's pick Portuguese." That way we don't have to deal with that. And then I forget if ACCM, man, we've had so many sets, but I forget if he played on this map as well. But I'm sure he had to have. But they both have a general idea of how this plays out. I don't think there's any real surprise strategies you can go for on this map right now.
yeah, it just feels like water. And then are you forced to build your defensive tower? I don't think Italians has too much to go for themselves in Castle Age. Portuguese should be better there. Something that we were lacking, I think, in the, wasn't it Winchester set? Or was it another set where we saw Italians that we didn't see condos early enough?
That was backed versus Hera.
Mm,
That was backed versus Hera. It was Italians versus Portuguese, and backed was in a full like 10 minutes before Hera, and he made spears without getting pikemen. I remember being so frustrated by that game. There's certain games as a caster that just kind of like frustrate you until it's you, because you know the potential, and I'm sure viewers are the same when watching sometimes. But hey, the pressure's on here for ACCM. If he does not win this game, he'll be very happy with his tournament performance, but he will be out, and DauT will be moving on to the grand finals against the defending champion Leary. In the yellow, again, we have ACCM, and DauT in the red, Nilly.
stable dock opening from both players there. No surprise. We see wood upgrade from both players as well, knowing that there won't be too much aggression early on. And that should be a fight for ACM. Not sure why DauT is taking that one.
Is that? I mean, it looks close to me. All right, I trust you.
Never.
I trust you. I
Never.
didn't see the start of the engagement in my defense, so is that what you would call a DauT thing right there to take that fight?
Yeah, I think it makes zero sense, especially for him, a guy that is so good at scouting his opponent, then coming up with strategies, making up his mind based on the information that he got. I think he was trying to get the kill with the galley. Hera?
Just passing?
Hera's
Got him.
fine.
Well played. All right, so I'm not seeing any real difference on either side here. You've got... Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. We've got galleys from both players out of 2 docks, and fletching is going to be on the way, I'm sure.
People apparently in Twitch chat not as familiar with the memes in the community. Welcome.
I got confused too. I thought you misspoke for a second. I was like, wait, what? Did something happen that I missed? But I got you, Nilly. No worries. So what do you do from here, right? You've both lost your scouts. Does this bring more potential for? Does this bring more potential for some non-land or non-water strategies and something more on land?
You can pressure so much more. It basically is you can cut more corners. You can take some more risk if you want to. You can surprise your opponent. For now, both players are still playing the kind of meta style. ACM did add a spearman, tries to see what's up.
All right, scouting with the spearman. That's something. All right, and he's scouting around there, and we have 3 galleys for ACCM. And DauT will have 4. ACCM will need to back away in a moment. And this is a lot of what you see on this map, Nilly. And the only way you can surprise the opposition on water is to loop around the other way, which oftentimes is too much of a risk right now.
I like what ACCM is doing here. That he is moving around, that he is scared of DauT being able to do some wild things. Because why is DauT taking this fight? It is to maybe hide a strategy, right? It is to keep you in the dark. So nice awareness, and unfortunately runs into a bear at the bottom now. Some more repair on those galleys. 6v6 shouldn't really find a kill here.
That poor spearman. I mean, I would prefer to die to a galley. And now he's gonna die to a bear, and DauT will probably just back away himself now because he's outnumbered. But did he go too far? I think he's going to be able to sail away here.
Needs to click though till his own docks. Yeah, seems like still very reasonable in HP there. Was outnumbered 4-7, but not too many losses.
DauT's macro is pretty sick, man. He has 900 food, 500 gold. He should have clicked up already, but oh, he's late for his second building, and he's going for a stable, and it's a panic stable at home. He just had to place with 6 villagers. So I think DauT's slipping a little bit in this game. The scouting, obviously sloppy, though it is even. They both have their scouts, or don't have their scouts any longer, but he could have clicked up.
Interesting that he's not going for the market, honestly. So often do we see people heavily abusing the market on this map because you can be easily pushed away from the gold. And now we can see DauT needs to micro a bit with those villagers, build another mining camp to keep them a bit safer. Tries to go for the counter attack, but denied.
Oh, wow. Yeah, really denied too. And that was immediate reaction from ACCM. He is not finished here in this series. And I'd say, I mean, there's been spots in game 1 and 2 where ACCM had a lead and had advantages, but he was never really able to capitalize on it. This is the first real moment today where I feel like he could capitalize on this. Faster to Castle Age, which he couldn't say in game 1 and 2, and has good civilization to overwhelm on water.
Okay. Well, like his spot for sure. Oh, sneaky villager. Okay. Well, we'll see what she is up to. Already having the barracks at home. DauT. Look at that. He's curious as well. Will he find her?
You've got to be kidding me. How does DauT ACCM there, man? That's ridiculous. I mean, maybe it was a mistake to place a house there. See ACCM try and quick wall, micro nerd, ripperoni. And I thought that stable was added so DauT could go for some offensive knights, but he really knew that ACCM would be in a position to switch it up. And my, oh my, is that going to matter a lot, because Villager had to walk a long way to accomplish that.
To accomplish that, yeah. Caravel's now being tagged. Nothing else though. DauT not having the resources to go for what? A galley upgrade here. Still lacking 8 food. Could now click it if he wanted to. Indeed is going for it. And he's running away to the left hand side. I think I would like some demos here.
I would like to see ACCM focus on the docks. We've seen players just kind of spread their ships out, which is fine. But if DauT's already abandoned that gold, just focus on taking out those docks. I think it was a great idea to mix in some fires as well, because caravels are not so good against that. He seems to be just passing, and maybe he's worried as DauT. On the other side here, if we can take a look over, he shows up with 2 scouts, and he's picked off a villager on the gold. This is with scouts, Nilly, and ACCM will complete the TC, but this is something that will annoy him, man. He wanted to be the one switching it up. Instead, it's DauT. And look at ACCM's name. He's got to loop the whole way around for that. Wow.
But this will be intercepted. I think this will be better for ACCM. Look at that. He is not moving in there. Not the prettiest thing for now. But the army will come from behind. I don't think that DauT can really squeeze through those docks. It's microing here, but that should be a lot of losses for him.
Also, careening in already. So extra armor for the Navy that ACCM has here. DauT's going to do what he can to micro, but you called it, Nilly. While it looked a bit awkward for ACCM having to loop the whole way around, the loop is worth it, and say goodbye to any advantage DauT was going to have on water. I mean, he'll still have caravels, but that does put him way behind with numbers.
Did DauT overinvest onto land? I think third dock early on might have been a thing. That Monk, let's see what his story will be. Well, just passing for now, or...
It could get a conversion.
Just converting.
And now just passing over to the right side. And now there's also some action on the right side, or maybe potential action, because ACCM has another villager over there making a stable. So just things to keep an eye on. DauT is definitely switching to TCs a bit faster, because he will be on 3, and 2 of the new ones are in that northern corner.
DauT, 9 caravels, 3 war galleys, still not going for demos. Just think about how efficient demos could be here, Tristan.
Oh, he's queued him. He's housed currently, which really hurts. But he does have a demo on the way out of one dock. And then the other one is not producing because he's pop capped. So that's actually an awful time to get pop capped, because he needs to get those numbers here.
First demo was really good already. and those ships at the front are extremely low. I think that's the wrong positioning by ACCM. He should still stay in distance. Let's take a look. Let's hope that the demos are popping before the rest is unpopping.
Oh my god. Oh man, fireworks! And more fireworks! Oh my goodness! And this is the power of some demos, and this is the power of some sneak attacks on this map. But overall, still seems like ACCM's okay, but there will be more demos here, Nilly.
To the top, get some good kills here. The other demo at the bottom fell, and DauT, he's holding this one, and now it's only Caravels against War Galleys. DauT should clear this one up, and that's what I've been saying for so long. Demos dominate those fights here. It's so tough to disengage against those.
Yeah, I really shouldn't use this pedestal I've been given to rant about my opinion on balance, but it bothers me how ACCM had a 3-1 military lead in water, and DauT just sits back and goes boop, and then suddenly he's back in it, man. That was such a way to come back, and he's not giving up on water either. He's even adding another dock at home, so expect more of that. I will say ACCM 73 eco, and then 60 eco for DauT. ACCM even added a few fishing ships, some of which he's accidentally sending over to DauT's side. So I think he just had this gather point for his docks over there, and I don't think offensive fishing is a great idea, but we'll see.
Yeah, Tristan, if you wanted to start a discussion about balancing and coming back with lower numbers, then we would have probably had to talk about the Arabia game where one mangonel suddenly killed 25 people.
That's a good point as well, right? That's a very good point. I like how ACCM researched careening early, something that maybe was only doable because he was Italians and those techs are cheaper and discounted. And the fire ships benefiting from that are doing so well against the Caravels. And ACCM's like, where are your demos now, DauT? He just continues to pressure on water, and he has a stellar boom behind this.
Lovely, 15 ahead there, and Monk even saved by DauT. Good job. Now some conversions. DauT is trying to make something happen. More knights are coming over. We'll find that Monk, and I don't think DauT can hold this. Knight aggression by ACCM.
Can we get some Craigasms in chat the next time a Caravel sinks into the water? Because that is one of the most pleasing animations in this game. Buildings everywhere for ACCM. He unfortunately does lose his knight to a conversion, but right to the left of this, he's got a siege workshop and another stable.
Full aggression. Just look at how smothered DauT is here. Water aggression, land aggression from the right, land aggression from the left, and DauT is trying to make something happen with the Monk defense exclusively for now.
Yeah, and remember, it's cheaper for Italians to go up to Imp as well. So, gain an eco lead with Italians. You then can hold on water as Caravels sink into the water. Oh, and then you have that early imp potential. So, I mean, these demos paying off for DauT there, and he's still holding on, but it doesn't feel all that convincing for him right now.
Docks could go down as well. Military count heavily in favor for our player from Vietnam, and he can start smiling again because this one is looking pretty damn promising for him. Mangonel aggression out left hand side. DauT, I would be surprised if he pulls those villagers before the Mangonel can hit.
Well, the Mangonel's just chilling there for now, so it's not really excited to do anything, I guess. But as just shown, DauT's trying to redock. ACCM spotting that. ACCM is all over DauT, whether that's on water and on land right now. I think it's going to be really hard for DauT to somehow spin a victory out of this awkward spot. He's got 2,000 wood. This is DauT, the guy who had exceptional macro in game 1 and game 2. But I think the reason, as the Mangonels hit, that he had exceptional macro was because he had control, Nilly. And for the first time in this series, ACCM is showing us what he can do when he controls a game.
Yeah, just beautiful. The problem a bit for DauT is he can't really farm on his starting area, right? The area is so tight, can't really squeeze in too much more. And also, he wanted to go for more ships, but well, that was taken away from him. So now with the redock, now with some more production, the wood will eventually go down. But yeah, some market usage could have been a good option.
Exactly. Maybe, I mean, it's also awkward as he just now is able to mine some of that stone because you have to chop through the trees to be able to access that. So not like a defensive castle is an option to protect that TC right now. But the Spearman's doing work against that Mangonel. ACCM has a lot to focus on right now. That's something he needs to keep an eye on.
DauT is pulling villagers against the Mangonels. Will kill one at the left-hand side. Those two are in danger as well. And that's a quite nice hold there. Finds 3 Mangonel kills.
Yeah, I think, I was just thinking about this. I think that it just comes down to ACCM having to do too much right now. And DauT trying to come back on water was his main focus. He was worried about that. And he's falling a little bit behind again on water. And while he was trying to stabilize that, DauT was able to take advantage on land. So nicely done from DauT, who still, I feel, is in this game, but behind.
Interesting moves here. DauT indeed, 25 population behind. Another villager attack. Those have been really strong against military this game for DauT.
I think DauT's gonna get water back here. He's producing out of 5 docks. ACCM's producing out of 3. They both are queued up, so are fully queued with their buildings. But logic would tell you that DauT's going to have more military or more navy on water because of that. But speaking of up, ACCM is about to go up to Imp, and there he goes. Range is right next to DauT's base, and already crossbow in production.
Yeah, that will be close to impossible for DauT to deal with, right? He's fully focused on the water and is trying to make the defense happen there, or maybe trying to reclaim that area. Arbalest, absolutely impossible to counter if you're Castle Age and they get all the upgrades.
So DauT doing the right thing to try and clear up water, and he is doing so, as ACCM will have to retreat. But if ACCM can now mix in demos himself and just hold for a couple minutes, he will be able to out-tech DauT on water and have the threat of the Arbalest right next to DauT's TCs. So, DauT not really close to clicking up to Imp. He needs to win water quickly here and maybe get some big Mangonel shots on land against the crossbows.
But how do you win water, right? In Castle Age, it will be tricky to then deal with fast fire ships. Fast fire ships can be checked cheaper for Italians. I think ACM has a lot of tools to use his Imperial Age advantage.
Well, I mean, it's 17 war galleys and 3 fires for DauT. It's 7 fires for ACCM on water. That's all he has. And DauT just landed. He just denied a forward university. And he's been able to land some shots on monks and crossbows. There's not a lot there for ACCM. Feels like he's going to be out-popped, but let's see it. In that choke point, just like DauT was able to do earlier, ACCM could always defend.
Okay, trying to go for some more relics. DauT picking up the first one there. And now you can see ACM doing a reasonable job of clearing that one up. If he's reaching him, what are his first techs going to be? I wouldn't be surprised if it is a focus on Arbalest.
Yeah, I think Arbalest, what's weird is he tried to make his university with his forward bill. Okay, he does. I just checked. He has a university at home, so he doesn't actually need to finish that. DauT's going to click up to Imp, but DauT could be overrun over the next 3 minutes. I think it's very important that ACCM uses his Imp advantage well. We have seen games, though, Nilly, where someone in DauT's position is able to delay, hold, and win with Portuguese.
Interesting tech. Left-hand side, you see the anchor there. That is shipwright, an upgrade that is normally extremely expensive. Lets you build all ships with lower wood costs. An upgrade that, well, basically can't really be afforded because of its cost. But with Italians, cheaper, and you only have to pay 500 food instead of 1,000, which you normally don't have the.
Yeah, that is what. I mean, other civs can be competitive with Italians on water in Castle Age, I'd say. But the cheap shipwright is really what can set Italians apart. DauT with the castle, and DauT will have some demos here. That castle is in a perfect spot to maybe make ACCM think twice about pushing in there.
Good upgrade on the later side, but look at how he is moving in, and Carini still helping. DauT needs to retreat. The castle is helping, but maybe not even enough.
9 Pierce armor on the fast fire ships. I think DauT's going to have to rely on choke points and demos. He does still have 22 war galleys. He is 1 minute away from him. And that castle's kind of stabilized him in that area, Nilly. But if you look at the yellow on the minimap, it's kind of like the red we've seen in Game 1 and in Game 2 from DauT, where there's just full control for ACCM. He sees everything.
Yeah, blocking the top as well, pushing DauT away from that gold. Not even sure how much gold control DauT will have in the long run. Well, we see a good demo kill here. Okay, I like that one. DauT trying to hold on, tries to go for mass galleons, but how is he even moving out? The moment I think he tries to move out at one direction, ACM will come into the other while attacking on land.
I think this will get to a point, and we're seeing the upgrades now, where ACCM doesn't even need the Arbalest. He can just go for a nice Maganel shot there, DauT. But he can just go another nice Maganel shot. But still, there's Arbs killing villagers, and DauT has no answer to it, and ACCM can just switch into Hussar.
Uh-oh, gold now heavily being attacked, and 2 Arbalists there, enough to deny the gold mining there. And the stone mining gold is going down here. DauT only now getting careening, if I saw that correctly. Would be surprised if he got correct, so not using all the advantages yet.
This is GG, Nilly. I don't see any way DauT comes back. I mean, you mentioned it a moment ago. He lost so many Arbs, ACCM, but then he still had 3 Arbs that are still killing stuff. And then he's got all this Navy here. And then the light cav will slowly but surely be upgraded. And if DauT maybe had a small raiding force of some kind and he was consistently asking questions of ACCM, I'd think differently. But I don't want to doubt DauT, but I don't see how he can really get himself out of this corner.
He's doing a lot of good stuff, holding on, right? And then in the long run, he could build another castle to defend to the right-hand side, trap defending at the left-hand side. And honestly, the pressure went a bit down from ACCM side. I wouldn't be surprised if DauT actually might reach pop limit this game.
152. What are the odds that he makes it Vittoria?
7.3%.
7.3%. I was thinking 7.9. So you're the doubter here, I guess. Yeah, maybe, but like, maybe, but I'm still waiting for ACCM to apply the finishing blows, I suppose, right? It seemed inevitable for a while. He could honestly just, and he's kind of doing it now, he could just raid that starting eco from DauT, and there's so many bills there. That's what Leary did to Hera yesterday. He said, forget about the corner. I'm just going to take this middle area. DauT might need to try and send villagers away from there into the north, but there's not space. It's so cramped, man.
He's trying to wall it off some spearmen, but well, only spearmen won't do too well against reasonably upgraded light cav already. And does DauT not have ballistics? He does.
He does have ballistics. Yeah, he does have ballistics. ACCM, look at his fog of war. He sees virtually everything, Nilly, and he's bringing some trebs over to the left, where he's going to... He's even making cannon galleons right now. Are you kidding me? We're going to see cannon galleon? Wow.
I think it's a lovely unit. It's just so good. You can move in, move out every single time. You have some control. You can find some more kills. While DauT builds a defensive castle at his home base. So I think you can find some kills. Kill some dogs. Maybe even harass some castles.
DauT has 27 villagers on stone. He has so much stone income. He's got 31 on food now. I guess he had idols for a while. That was looking bad, but that is a lot of stone income in that northern area. And ACCM seems well aware, I guess, that DauT is looking to hold and not looking to call it quits early. And it's the semifinals, a big tournament. You know, it hasn't looked good for DauT, but DauT should truly play on until there's a 0% chance for his victory. We've seen some players lose from winning positions before, and we've seen crazier comebacks, but Hussar's now in. It's hitting DauT on that gold. This is what we expected a bit earlier, and I'm wondering if ACCM is going to be able to start pressuring these castles with something soon.
I think DauT could easily go for some Genoese crossbowmen to deal with those Hussars, but is rather going into the Arbalest tech. Now has a lot of galleons here. I'm a bit surprised how he messed those up.
Yeah,
Wait,
he does have a lot. He...
No Genoese.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, I just thought DauT was Italian's brain fart.
Oh, gotcha. No, I've grown used to your brain farts, Nilly, and so it didn't even ring a bell for me. I'm kidding. What's funny is you've got the 2 bombard cannons from ACCM on the left, and he's doing some crazy damage against DauT's Navy there. DauT actually needs to back away. And the Hussar raid just continues. And ACCM that will probably swing in some cannon galleons and trebs on the right side now, where he can take out the castles from DauT, which he's been treading water with. But as I've been saying a lot recently, DauT is treading water. Victoria in the northern corner. Victoria. Oh man,
Oh
but DauT's
god.
treading water. He's still going to drown.
The meme building. Maybe you explain to us why this one is so exciting.
Well, I mean, it depends on your definition of exciting, I suppose, but it's 250 gold, 250 stone to make it, and it gives you a trickle of resources. It also takes up 20 population space, so maybe this will actually house DauT at 200 population, like you said, Millie. That's the only way that I see him achieving that, as these Hussars continue to spam in, and ACCM has castles everywhere. But I just don't feel as though when ACCM has full map control and there's so much gold and stone for him to collect, having eco is better than having Vittoria's, and Vittoria is normally only strong in situations where the enemy runs out of resources.
Yeah, I think DauT only went for it because he was floating so much stone and gold. Honestly, with being pop 160 and being pushed so far in the corner, I wouldn't even mind to see another one from it.
Maybe. I mean, double down on that as he will, oh boy, make another castle. Is DauT just gonna camp in the corners with Vittoria's? Oh my god, dude. I mean, there DauT takes out a trebuchet. He's playing defensive with trebs. Don't tell me he gets the next one. He might. And he'll have infinite stone income with the mining and the Vittoria there, so he can constantly repair his castles. I'd be kind of tilted if I were ACCM. I feel like he was gonna win this game so long ago.
Well, DauT doing a great job of holding on here for sure. Stone's still heavily on the map, so ACM won't be too scared about that one. And as you mentioned earlier, also lots of gold control, so he won't mind that one too much. But DauT obviously doing a great job of staying at population with that.
Yeah, he's making ACCM earn the victory, and ACCM has made DauT earn some victories as well today. So I think ACCM, he can easily swing over some cannon galleons onto the right, which he's done. He lost the bomber cannon to the trebs. Again, tilting stuff, but while DauT can make endless castles, I think ACCM can still take out endless castles. And he has done so already, getting closer to a few of these additional ones. Elite cannon galleon now in.
Oh yeah, and that's something we so rarely see. Happy to see those maps, honestly. This is just lovely stuff, and I'm using this word so often, but it simply is. Like, when do we see elite cannon galleons tracking down castles and killing so much on land while we see land aggression?
I think the last time I saw someone going for elite cannon galleon in a water game was, and it wasn't this map, was when someone refused to resign when they were dead in a water game. Some might argue that DauT is in that very position right now. And that's why ACCM can comfortably do that. But I won't say who would argue that, because DauT, he's had a great day today, and I can see why he's confident. But he's surely dead here. He's gonna lose his castles. All trebs are going down. So many bad things are happening for him. He just won't give it up.
ACM even researching arrow slits now, more attack for his towers, which doesn't really matter too much. I don't really see too much from him, and he will deal with that castle long distance. DauT might be misled by his own population, 160, but 20 of that is the Vittoria.
DauT, I just checked, has more villagers repairing castles, double the amount of villagers repairing castles than he does on food currently. And then he has 68 on wood. So not the balance you would want to achieve if you want to get a comeback going here. But I think, you know, as we said many times, he's playing it out, and he's making ACCM earn it. It's the semifinals. I think DauT's going to have to realize soon, and will realize soon, that this is the end for him in this game.
Yeah, most likely here, and that could be a really draining game. Remember that this one could still have 2 games after that, and then potentially best of 7 finals here. I think you might even think about your energy for the full day.
All right, well, the GG is called. ACCM says, I'm not finished yet. DauT looked great in game 1 and game 2, But in this game, ACCM was able to take some initiative. Even when DauT was able to scout that ACCM was looking for the little sneaks, ACCM made the boom happen. He made the water happen, and he proved how Italians can be competitive against Portuguese on Rock Slide.
Two dog play from DauT there, then trying to go for the counter attack, got caught off guard by ACCM, who punished this aggression quite nicely. Some demos allowing a chance for the comeback, but just full control and just massive map control by our Vietnamese player. He is still alive. 2 more wins to go, though.
Do you think that this was the case of DauT switching into TCs too early? I think he went for fewer docks, and he was on at least the 3rd TC before ACCM was on his 3rd TC.
I think skipping the 3rd dock was the main mistake. I think you can build the TC to protect your villagers, but the 3rd dock has to be there. Otherwise, you're basically giving up the full control of water.
I was also really impressed because I felt the same, right? But there's always that trade-off. If you give up water a bit, DauT had potential to come back, and DauT was on TCs really early. So it looked to me like DauT was going to have a 10 or 15 villager lead. But if we go to the statistics now, we can go through everything. And when we eventually get to the timeline, ACCM was level, if not ahead of DauT, through much of the mid game. So I think his approach was just take control and then focus on eco. And DauT just had too little. But there's the KD for ACCM. All these stats in favor of him, whether it's the kills, the raise is there. And you look at the economy, this is kind of why it felt inevitable for a bit. ACCM with way more food collected, wood and gold. Of course, DauT, he made a lot of castles in that corner with the extra stone, but didn't accomplish much. And then 94% of the map was explored by ACCM. He truly, I think that is basically 100% on that map, right, Nilly? Because those corners you can't scout because there's wood there. So I think he scouted virtually everything. And then, again, the timeline, the mid-game, ACCM had more military, and his economy looked just as strong. All right. So I've heard the next map is winged. Let's look at the draft. Let's look at the maps, and let's see and speculate on what will end up being picked here, because I think someone has Bulgarians. We've seen Bulgarians pretty frequently. Bulgarians, Franks, and Saracens remaining for DauT. DauT has 2 home maps here. So if break this down here, let's say DauT loses on winged, then there will be Atacama, a map where Franks is a fine pick, and I think ACCM would save Magyars for that. So we have Incas or Slavs available for ACCM for this map. DauT could go Bulgarians or Saracens, Nilly. Do you agree with my line of thinking? Okay, just FYI, I can't hear you if you're still there. Okay, all right. I feel very alone right now.
Hey,
oh, hi. Okay, thank God. I was getting worried. How are you, Nilly?
doing fine.
Did you hear my question by chance, or did you have to go take a quick pee break or something?
I wrote in the urgent caster chat that we want to have open at all times, that I will be right back. And I knew that you would fill the time quite nicely.
Yeah, the urgent. Okay, that was very urgent. I missed you. So what I just said is I expect to see something like Bulgarians here for DauT. And then Incas and Slavs feel like the only options for ACCM as far as civs go if he wants to save Magyars for potential Game 5.
Wing up next. Feels reasonable. Obviously, I missed the civilizations now. Bulgarians, Incas. Yeah, sounds really, really likely to me as well.
So I can see the civs now, and we do have a spec delay, so we can discuss this for the next couple minutes. It is Incas versus Bulgarians. Now, with what I was thinking, this is a matchup that DauT might want, because Bulgarians get the free men at arm upgrade. Incas like to go for the villager and eagle nonsense. And so Bulgarians are one of the best civs at dealing with that. I personally don't love this pick for ACCM. I think had he gone for something like Slavs, that the mid game would be potentially stronger than Bulgarians because of their economy. But he still goes for Incas, and Incas have been a good civilization for this map.
It's absolutely right. Villager Rush is an option, but as you said, Men-at-Arms seem to be a good option against that. Then Archers could be added, maybe putting some Villagers early against that one. And then you have to think, Incas, are you maybe shying away from that and even trying to play the Eagle direction together with some Archer range units? We did see Eagles dominating quite heavily in Empire Wars, so that could be very nice for Incas.
All right. I'm curious to see what DauT does, because he could easily go for an early stable and some scouts and get the blacksmith upgrades really fast. Almost play it like Magyars, I guess, where you go scouts with forging and then try and hit those vills. And it's a weird one, Nilly, because if you make Man-at-Arms, we've seen many times where you make Man-at-Arms and if it doesn't pay off, it's too costly and you end up falling behind. So, like, are you expecting the Vill Rush from Incas? Because the Incas might expect you to have Man-at-Arms. Do you want to make the Man-at-Arms? Because Incas can go Archers. It's kind of iffy. If I'm ACCM, honestly, I don't feel any real need to run forward. I just open up with a range, make some Eagles, and then go forward if you feel like you've won some fights and have the potential.
Great point. Men-at-Arms as the blind counter against the villagers, and then you're kind of patrolling in front of a base, trying to intercept. That shouldn't really work, because if you realize, okay, well, he's not villager rushing, let's go to the other side, then you're looking into 3 archers, won't do anything. It will be a heavy game about minds, called Mind Games.
Yeah.
And I think we could see the game even decided before we actually really launch into it. If it's like full villagers running into 4 men-at-arms, game over. 4 men-at-arms into archer defense, game over as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's like, you know what I can do, but he knows what I can do, and like you know what I know, what you don't know. It's crazy. It all comes down to some person committing, and you might want. Well, I think I'm even confusing myself right now. Nilly, let's just hop into game number 4. Best of 5 semifinal. Winner here moves on to face the reigning champion Leary in a best of 7. And DauT is up 2-1. The yellow, well, we see it. We see it. Whoa, what the? Just passing moment. They're all going forward.
But that's not a thing with Bulgarians. What is DauT even trying to achieve? There are 3 villagers at the top by ACCM. DauT is apparently going for stone, defensive tower instantly, men-at-arms for the defense. So he is going for the right counter, defense upgrade for those villagers in. And what is that? He just goes for the shorefish, but ACCM intercepts that. Is it perfect counter by ACCM or what?
I think they're both going. I think he wants to dock, shorefish, and go for stone for towers, right? That's why DauT sent 4 villagers there, and he just happened to dock first. So that is something that ACCM has not picked up on. And I went from thinking, well, who knows what's going to happen, to thinking that DauT is in a good position. He could deny the archer range in the middle, and he has the men-at-arms out, and he's on stone for more defensive towers against Incas.
And that scout is doing so much damage. ACCM not really looking there. The good tower for our player from Vietnam, making stuff happen. DauT gets the yoink there, runs away. Nice macro by him.
I mean, ACCM just slipped there big time, man. I mean, he slipped on multiple bananas. Things are falling all over the place for him, man. The range isn't even up in the middle of the map. The tower that he placed doesn't feel all that successful right now, and then he lost a villager after having armor with Incas, and DauT's going forward for the counter. ACCM will have very little at home to defend from this.
He's going now for fletching. Archer range is out, but that's in the center of the map. Could see 1-2 dead villagers at the gold. That tower is going down, but DauT already gave up on that gold regardless.
4 men-at-arms hitting the golds. Well, if he wasn't Incas, he would have lost more, and DauT ends up killing 1. And he also removes the villagers from the gold, so I think he'll love that position. And the man-at-arms are still very hard to counter. ACCM needs to pressure with villagers, and he's going to do that at DauT's woodline. DauT has man-at-arms forward. He does not have anything here. I think ACCM, instead of towering, really, I think he actually needs to fight the vills. That's his advantage.
Let's see about that one. DauT, lovely move by with his scout there, finding the remaining villagers. Tower now getting up. DauT, is he moving again or is he trying to fight this?
DauT at the same time is attacking with his man-at-arms. He's just gonna run away at home. Oh man, there's so much to look at right now.
Time to breathe a bit. No immediate killing up next. Man-at-arms won't really find anything. DauT having control over the water. Another nice advantage for him. Slight lead in villagers.
I prefer DauT's position big time. He's got defensive towers up, so he's kind of okay. He is getting hit in his woodline right now with archers, though. But since he was able to get to stone, he can make the defensive towers. He still has the man-at-arms. ACCM has no defense for this. And DauT has killed so many villagers with these men-at-arms.
Oh, and now clears up the archer at the front. Big problem for DauT, though. He is not on gold while we see those men-at-arms hugging the TC.
It was a long-distance quarantine hug right there. 3 men-at-arms still alive. ACCM trying to head back to wood. The man-at-arms are there. Did he click those vills back to the wood, or is he actually going to fight here? Yeah, he's not going to fight. I think if there was just one thing going on, you could possibly justify fighting with the vills, but the real concern is there's 3 or 4 different things going on. And so it's very hard to fight villagers against military units who auto-attack.
DauT needs to bail on that wood line as well. Look at that. 2 palisades walling in that tower there quite nicely. And DauT, his man-at-arms, still active. ACCM, he needs to find another wood line for himself and another long-distance hug.
The thing is, he has it to the right of his TC. There's 2 lumber camps there. I don't know why he keeps, probably because of the stress of the situation, he just keeps pressing the go back to work hotkey. But he has more wood on the right, and he could have just sent his villagers back over there. As I say that, he towers DauT's woodline, and DauT's wood situation is getting increasingly worse for him. He can't just rebuild lumber camps all game. This is a bit dangerous for him.
Has enough wood for now. Builds not the prettiest one of all time. Need to run quite a bit, and DauT reclaiming the gold. Well, good job by him. That man-at-arm against the villager should be close one. ACM thinks about running.
It is obviously much easier for us to say when we're sitting back and it's not our biggest tournament performance and all these different factors, right? It's very easy for us to judge these situations as well because we see everything. But ACCM knows that DauT is on that stone. He has not sent the archers there. There's no defense for those villagers. If those villagers are taken out, DauT can't make defensive towers anymore. And the range is right next to all that. So I'm really surprised that ACCM has not made a move that direction yet. And he probably is just too tunnel visioned with all the other things going on.
Yeah.
Oh, DauT could trap these.
About it. How we are trying to show stuff as well, right? There are 4 different areas where stuff is happening. We are not showing the 3 where the attack and defense is even. We are showing where someone is slightly slipping up, which has to happen in those scenarios.
Oh, the villagers are trapped in here. The villagers are trapped in here. DauT traps them, and the villagers are getting hit by the tower. It could have been a lot easier for DauT with 1 palisade, and there's still Inca villagers he has to worry about. But these 4 villagers in the back are going to be trapped nilly, and DauT's got 2 towers here. DauT will clear that up. Huge moment for DauT.
Oh, could have walled in that villager as well. Can he snipe that one? Looks like yes, he can. And now finds 9 villager kills compared to 4. What a wild game. 6 worker lead for DauT.
Look at the resources, though, for ACCM. Kind of reminds me of when DauT went for the Inca Rush against Yo, where you go heavy on gold, and you use the market a bit, and you try and get to Castle Age quickly. I mean, DauT has his worker lead, but it's not a massive lead, and ACCM could click up to Castle Age soon.
Wow. Uh-oh. That's problems for DauT. He has 7 on food right now. No real farmers. Skirms are moving back, and DauT won't have any answers to mass eagles here. ACM in a good spot then.
I mean, DauT has done a great job keeping his workers alive, but they're not in the proper spots. It's crazy how powerful this rush is, and ACCM clicks up to the Castle Age as DauT adds 3 more farms. And this is a guy who also has had the fishing ships. And ACCM still could pressure that stone area. Man, he's just passing. I mean, come on. Oh, jeez.
What are DauT's next steps, though? He still has 5-minute arms on the field. Those will obviously be extremely strong against villagers, even though we have the defensive and aggressive upgrade on the villagers. We'll find those two. Probably attacking the gold should be the main focus for DauT.
Yeah. Yeah, gold's definitely the #1 resource to deny. DauT's killed a lot of villagers. I'm looking at eco killed lost stats. ACCM killed 7 eco. DauT killed 12. And yet, Castle Age could mean that Eagles just destroy everything. What do you think about DauT making all-in Man-at-Arms in Feudal Age?
Mobility problems then, right? Yeah, heads-up fight is okay, and we have kind of seen that as the approach, but I've rarely seen it if we are open behind this one. And DauT 4 defensive towers, but still Eagles can run in and out.
Yeah, I think the approach for ACCM could still be to just raid. If DauT can buy some time. 41 villagers for ACCM. Now, when he reaches Castle Age, his Eagles scouts it'll be 4+3 attack as a base, so they'll be a lot stronger even before the Eagle Warrior upgrade, which ACCM can afford.
Let's take a look how DauT will approach the next minutes, knowing that his opponent now is in Castle Age. A market could be a nice stab. It's floating quite a lot of gold here.
Yeah, DauT did make that market, but no worries there. What we need to focus on is DauT, for now, trying to delay ACCM as much as possible. And ACCM is decided to go forward, so DauT will find some reward with this tower.
That gold could be blocked for a small moment. Center absolutely uncontested, but we obviously have a lot of gold that we could go for. ACCM is now bailing, wants to get the center control. Brilliant move.
I think ACCM, does he? Oh, he does have the upgrade. He does have the Eagle Warrior upgrade, and he's just going to dive underneath these towers. Back in the day, meta used to be tower rush early and then raid with knights in a lot of those Hun wars. And nowadays, if you tower rush with Incas, the enemy's not going to be able to wall up. So he knows that now, and he just has to pick his spots. But DauT has done a good job. He is making some man-at-arms. He has attack and defense on the infantry, and he has not lost many villagers yet.
And if he continues doing man-at-arms, he suddenly gets a nice power spike because he gets long swords for 3 instantly. So that could be a nice move for man-at-arms there as the defense. I like how DauT is playing this one. Still 5 workers ahead.
Yeah, and it wasn't an all-in approach, right? It was calculated to go Castle Age and then make these and then get those upgrades. And DauT is really holding on, just 40 seconds away from Castle Age. Whereas maybe 2 minutes ago, if I would have asked you, Nilly, you might have said that DauT was in big trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure how he made such a good defense happen. Again, now micros with those villagers away. Slingers added, though.
That tower, though. I mean, the tower's killing so much. Look at this. ACCM wants to sit underneath that tower because he knows he needs to do damage. But 3 out of the 4 slingers are dead.
Oof.
And now Longsword is in for free.
Oh, make it 4 out of the 4 slingers. That was lots of losses there. ACM wanted to dive under it, but the tower indeed did a brilliant job. That eagle raid stopped as well. DauT is in elite. How did that happen?
It's just the defense, man. And I think also the annoyance factor of the front was helpful. That it asked questions of ACCM, made him stick around. We have ourselves a game, Nilly, and I just noticed ACCM does not have any eco upgrades whatsoever.
Wow, that's true. On the other side, we have at least 2 wheelbarrow not used, and those villagers in the center extremely exposed. Would love to see a raid there from DauT, but obviously, as we mentioned earlier, mobility not really on his side, doesn't even have a stable.
So DauT, realizing he's stabilized, look in that right corner, Nilly. He's going to go TCs, and he is going to boom like crazy. Normally, I say that this is a greedy approach. But is it greedy when you can defend your eco already? And actually, it could threaten the enemy with a counterattack with longswords. I think this is a solid balance for DauT.
Yeah, I like that one as well. It just feels like the natural thing here for an Inca player is to constantly produce eagles, try to find some more picks. But DauT, if he just sees up the right-hand side, he should make a defense happen and indeed tries to invite himself into some counterattacks. Slinger is a good unit against longswords, though, once they can attack.
And DauT trying to use what little range units he has remaining to help out there. I'm liking the longswords. I mean, Bulgarian's hype, right? I mean, it's such a unique civilization. He does have full armor on them, and that's because it was cheaper. But I wonder how important this middle area is going to be. I mean, DauT loves Bulgarians for a lot of reasons. One of those reasons is the Krepos, and it's a cheap building you can drop for control of particular areas. It's kind of safe at home already. He's got to be thinking about pressuring that middle.
3 on stone for now, but lots of gold in the bank. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to run over there, and then all of a sudden, Connix could be a brilliant unit at this spot.
Yeah, Connix. It's DauT, right? You know he's going to use that market. He's just used some of that gold to buy some other resources to get eco upgrades. Nilly at DauT, he's 3 TCs. ACCM still 1 TC, and he's felt this pressure to raid DauT, and he's not found that much reward.
Weber for DauT first wood upgrade for ACCM. Villagers relatively exposed. 3 men-at-arms still trying to find some damage, and that raid here goes into longsword. Obviously wins that fight quite significantly, but will he find more damage? Not too sure about that.
How many villagers did he kill with this faster cast slate? 1? 2? I don't remember him killing many.
Yeah, he certainly lost more eagles than he killed villagers. That is quite obvious. Tower now saves 5 villagers. Those 3 are exposed though. And yeah, DauT just accepting his losses there. Hopes that the longswords at least will get some revenge kills.
I like ACCM's positioning currently because he's pressuring from the front, and that can be good if he needs to keep that gold secure. But what I don't like for him is DauT's got knights now. And so he'll have longswords and knights are fantastic against slingers. Slingers are amazing against infantry, but equally unamazing against everything else, as ACCM still will win that fight.
Well, those were 2 knights wasted, if I dare to call it that way. Not really getting the fight that he wanted. DauT, well, reasonable economy lead, but exposed at the gold. Nice quick wall by him. Jumps into the tower again, and those eagles are weak.
I'd like to see DauT go for a couple extra stables here, because if you just go full-on knights, should be good against Eagle Slinger, at least better than Longsword. Plus, you have that mobility. I'm a little surprised as well that DauT hasn't tried to take the risk to drop the Krepost in the middle. You can tell he's really making sure that he's going to get it up if he goes for it, because he knows he has the lead.
Well, I think Connix might be a really good option here. Maybe even building the Krepos defensively in the woodline, because you can see ACM, he did see defensive castles, defensive town centers, but still tries to find some damage there.
Yeah, good job from ACCM. What he needs to do is, every time he thinks of it and is floating the resources, which he's really not because he's constantly producing, but get those eco upgrades, but you have to make sure you're continuing to pressure DauT. Only go to 2nd, 3rd, 4th town center, those types of things when pressure can continue.
Oh, I think I'm seeing wood villagers move over now. Big story behind this. DauT constantly raided at his gold spot in the front. The one in the back now running dry.
Yeah, and that gold in the middle secured still. Raid from DauT, though, with the knights. And there's also that middle action as well with the eagles. So villagers going down everywhere. But DauT was able to kill 1 or 2 villagers here. But who knows if he's paying too close attention to that due to other things going on.
Oh man, still 20 eagles on the field. Military value double for ACCM. Doing a good job. Another raid. DauT, can he react in time? Looks like not yet.
Oh boy. Oh god. If he doesn't react to this, first off, his gold is out nearly. But now it's 69 villagers versus 75, and DauT just had a bunch of idle time. And this is... Oh, there's a Krepos, though, in the middle! So,
that's
ACCM could lose a bunch of villagers in return.
That's exactly what he needed. Some knights there to cut off the runaway path could be nice. Let's take a look. Seems like ACM is getting away. DauT gets control over it, but DauT not really punishing the villagers there.
Now, it's very important to remember there are other areas for gold. It's spread out around the map, so ACCM will have to find that. And he's killing plenty of villagers at DauT's base. DauT, seemingly focused on the Krepost in the middle, has lost a lot of his main eco due to these raids.
And that you see of DauT in the center is only touching one single gold pile. Not the prettiest one. Needs to build another mining camp later on. Maybe even a TC. But look at that. ACCM, look at his stone. He can build a castle himself.
Wow. ACCM is just sniping villagers, man. And he's sending the villagers forward. And Castle beats Krepos. This is insane. This is an insane series. And we could be heading towards a game 5 if this castle goes up and ACCM can get that gold control. Says, no, DauT. You think you're going to drop a Krepos. I'm going to drop a castle. That gold is mine.
Indeed. He is contesting that one so nicely. DauT will have the gold for a small moment. Needs to expand to another area. I think he needs to make some counterattack happen. Look at that. You see, I wouldn't mind. Maybe even a siege push onto that one.
Yeah, ram or two would be a little helpful there. I'm with you. DauT didn't have bloodlines, by the way. He's just now getting that. Seems like something that is he wouldn't normally forget as he takes his fight before bloodlines completes. Does have the attack on the knights, but the eagle number's still there. I think both players missing some upgrades, possibly due to how crazy this has been. Like at this point, ACCM could easily be getting the second wood upgrade, getting wheelbarrow, getting horse collar, and I guess DauT's even missing the wood upgrade as well.
Yeah, still no second attack upgrade even for the infantry. That really hurts as well. What's really great for ACM is he mainly faces knights, and now he has the option to Kamayuks, a designed unit to kill knights.
Oh my god, another one. And another one from ACCM, and this will fully protect the middle if he gets this up, and this will push DauT out of the middle. And DauT has shown that he hasn't really been able to expand out of this corner, Nilly. He was hoping that this would be all the expansion he needed. But what on earth does DauT do if these castles are up and he's struggling to get some counterattacks? And actually, on the shoreline, he's getting some in, but still very hard to kill Inca villagers.
True, but, well, he will take those. Not all of them can fit into the TC. DauT needs to run the villagers from the center and then needs to expand only now the second armor upgrade for those knights.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what DauT was looking at right there. He counted about 6 villagers. So the counts are definitely paid off. He is 0 on gold, Nilly.
Light Cav?
I like Light Cav here. I also think he could easily get some access to gold if he clears up this fight, because he can take that fight no problem. ACCM's been focusing down vills, but there's a cost to that because you lose a lot of your expensive gold units. Yeah, ACCM can get some converts, and that could be good, but DauT could maybe squeeze out, get some gold on the side.
Oh, get some more nice raids in. Right inside conversions are coming in. At least that's what I'm assuming. And now Light Cav coming over. Oh, actually, scouts coming there, and DauT, I think he will grab every single monk.
DauT's doing a really good job right now, and ACCM's struggling to deal with the raids. I think if DauT goes for Light Cav Knight, what few knights he can make, DauT could easily distract ACCM and keep him on the back foot here. And there's his gold right next to that, so he can take that gold. He can even TC it if he's really worried. 48 on food for DauT, 23 on food for ACCM, so he does have the gold.
DauT sitting at 4 TCs, ACCM at 3. Indeed, the gold should be taken. Still has some gold that he was using at the very beginning of the game. Do you think ballistics could have been a good option for DauT? Just how often we see those eagles running under towers, but the towers are missing?
Honestly, the way DauT plays this, no. Because he's been the master of keeping a few units in his base, just waiting for the raids, right? Whether it's a few longswords or a few knights. Maybe it's not the best way to spend your gold, but we'll see. Certainly if the game continues, I think ballistics could be great. And I'm still wondering if ACCM is ever going to be able to get with it mentally. Like, wake up a little bit here, get those eco upgrades, because he's way behind in food eco. DauT has access to gold, but it's not just that. DauT has more villagers and the more efficient economy due to wheelbarrow and the farm upgrade.
27 on gold and 10 on stone there. DauT is setting himself up nicely, but now the Kamayuks are arriving and they should be really good. Luckily, some longswords to maybe deal with them.
Oh, and also luckily ACCM did not patrol. I love the Kamayuk. It's so rare you see this. He clearly just clicked his Kamayuks to the gold, not expecting there to be longswords here. I think Kamayuks do pretty well in this fight if they take it, but We'll find out. We rarely see this fight in Castle Age.
Yeah, absolutely true. And yeah, Kamayuk's just a melee unit basically with one range, so therefore it's so easy to position yourself. DauT has to be happy that he dwindled those down to 1.5 Kamayuks.
Yeah, but he still has to. He still could lose villagers there, and he's also getting pushed on this gold again. And Kameyuk seems like a unit that if you get enough upgrades on it, enough of a mass, and ACCM will certainly have the castles that DauT just can't counter with Longsword Knight. I mean, I could be missing things here, but I think especially Elite Kameyuk just destroys everything that any unit that could really be made, except for maybe a lot of Arbalest. Very strong one, Nilly. And ACCM, say what you want about the lack of eco. I think the reason for that is this constant pressure.
Maybe if we get to two-handed swordman with the extra armor from the castle here for Bulgarians, that could be an option. Oh, what's happening here? That's a lot of villagers, Tristan.
Yeah, ACCM actually had placed that castle exactly where DauT just placed that crep post. So the foundation was canceled. And now he's still going to place another one. This guy has 16 on stone, and he has 14 villagers building a castle. ACCM is never going to be able to go up to Imp. But DauT, with that food eco, is on the way to Imp. And you're right, maybe with, what is it, the gains, I think? The extra armor, maybe the two-handed swordsman, which will be free, would just wreck.
But DauT did just build a new crab post, not a castle. So that delays him quite a bit, I would think, at least. Maybe a castle could have been the play instead of another crab post for traps and for upgrades.
Maybe a DauT crab post is less of a risk than a DauT castle. Maybe that's the logic. You know, one unit we've forgotten about for a couple minutes is the Slinger. So if it's Kameyuk Slinger and it's Castle Age units, I really wonder who wins between DauT's army and ACCM's army.
Well, we now see a lovely upgrades. I will give you 10 seconds of shouting time.
Supplies! Why didn't he have this earlier? I forgot about it. Did you say 10 seconds? That's a long supplies, man. I mean, supplies would have given him so many more long swordsmen, but it's a good tech to get now anyways, and that will make it cheaper for him to spam these two-handed swordsmen. And wow, look at that, the instant two-handed swordsman. Not only are you surprised that DauT's an imp if you're ACCM, but you get surprised by the units getting upgraded like that, and man, are they strong.
Yeah, and Slingers, well, they will struggle quite a bit if we get all the upgrades. And now DauT with a relatively defensive castle. That one is mainly for traps.
ACCM just doesn't seem to have overall structure. It's like he's got various points of the map that are strong due to the castles, but in other areas, he doesn't have protection with military at all. So DauT's able to run in every which way. And ACCM, if he loses here, he will be happy with his overall performance, but I think he will be upset that he wouldn't have closed out this game, because he could easily take out to a game 5. This has been the closest game of the series, because I think game 1 and game 2, clear wins for DauT. Game 3, clear win for ACCM. This is the first real back and forth battle we've seen between them.
Absolutely, and it's such a brilliant game here. Kamayuk's being continued to be produced. Twin Swordmen trying to find some more holes for themselves, some more points where they could attack, and just still so much red mixed into yellow on the minimap. I love it.
To our audience, can everyone just say horse color? I want to see what happens here. Say horse color, because I've been watching these farms expire all game, and it's really hurting ACCM because he has so little on food compared to DauT anyways. Just say horse color, and maybe you guys can influence live games here. I've seen crazier things. ACCM, fortunately, has the potential to hold with a lot of slingers, but Nilly, he doesn't seem to have the mass, and DauT already with castles pushing the middle.
But he's building the farms faster.
That's true. That, if anything, doesn't he waste wood a bit faster as well then? Yeah. Right? He gets faster to building the farm, so ripperoni.
Extra damage versus buildings for the champion line to the 200 swordsmen, doing a good job there. 2 traps out now. The castle might get saved. The slingers are coming over, but no, they're patrolled in, actually attacking the mining camp instead of the 200 swordsmen.
Man, I want there to be hope for ACCM. He's had such belief in himself to get here. But I'm just watching these castles fall, and he has 27 on stone. Is he just going to give DauT the same treatment that DauT gave him in game 3 and continue to build castles? I mean, he should, really. But he's got to sort out those other problems, and he has to find an area to pressure DauT at the same time. There's a lot for ACCM to do, but also a decent ball of slingers here.
Oh, that one can easily fall though if he's not microing properly. Now some more tower defense, and as you can see, he needs to be aware at all times. Loses thumb, and those are golden that he's not getting back. And chat, you did it!
Poor Scholar.
Clap yourself on the
But
back.
is he now on a point where it's too little too late? Like, he's in a never-ending cycle of he needs to produce in the Castle Age. And DauT, I just saw him get the cav upgrades. I think he's thinking about going for Hussar. And if he gets that unique tech, Nilly, that could be so sick. He could have the faster attacking Hussars with the two-handed swordsman, and Hussars would do more than enough against the slingers.
Yeah, that's so true. Also, the raid potential then increases. Syrups so nice in those spots. Camayuk, great. Let's take a look what it can find. Villagers around there. DauT even active with another trap to the top. His map awareness is so good. And Camayuk's focusing on the vills instead of the light cap first.
Yeah, it's just, again, ACCM's got to defend in so many different spots. So he's trying to get a raid in. DauT answers and DauT clears. And DauT going to drop another castle in the middle, it seems like. And ACCM doing the same, but ACCM still in Castle Age. DauT with 56 on food and with plenty of resources banked. And this is on top of the 32 military he already has. So you have to imagine upgrades are going to come in and more military is going to come in for DauT.
Oh, the trap moves there, so nice. And another castle aggressively. DauT is taking full control over that area, which is so crucial in the late game. And indeed, Stirrups is now coming in. Lightcap will attack faster here for DauT.
Yeah, the light cav are already going to own the slinger because of full imp upgrades. I think ACCM is... I'm not seeing a way back for him right now. He's got some villagers attacking a lion, so he can kill lions. I'm just not sure if he can kill DauT. And if whatever that is going to be is a castle! I'm telling you, like, the castles in the spots that he's had them, they've really done work, but the problem is he has nothing else. That is, if that goes up, man, I mean, quick, research treadmill crane, build that thing faster, let's go. Oh my word.
Okay, another castle goes down there at the top. I don't even know how many castles that we have this game. 4 will be up pretty soon. That will be 2 being built, so 6 in total. 2 maybe died. I'm not sure if I can even count that high.
Yeah, most of the buildings destroyed were castles, I doubt. So we could actually calculate it that way. I think he's taken out a few mining camps as well. But DauT, as we've been saying, Nilly, he's got 67 on food. He was well prepared to battle against Incas. He defended well. The castle's gonna actually go up. Which is hilarious, because he can see a 3 cameo trade, but apparently he can't see a castle being built in his base. But he will likely deal with that as well.
Oh god. Obviously, really tough to defend that castle eventually, right? DauT has so many traps, can just send them back with his own safety. And look at how much stone they still have in the bank. We aren't done yet with castles.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, there's still stone to be mined there. The problem for ACCM is he's losing a lot of control, not only in that ring where the stone is, but everywhere else. His main TC, that's being raided. Even at this point, forget about two-handed swordsman and just raid with light cap. You don't need to do anything else because ACCM's not really forcing DauT's hand in any way. This is desperation for ACCM. Maybe a game he would have resigned already if this was not a best of 5. He wants to make sure that when he calls it, if he calls it, the game is truly over.
And how can we fault him, right? Game number 5 against Winchester. Probably the comeback of this tournament, and that was done by ACCM, so he knows what he can do, but he also should see how many castles he is losing, how his map control is shrinking.
Yeah, and I just can't help but be very happy right now. You have DauT versus ACCM. It looks like DauT's going to win this. It's in the semifinals of a big tournament. ACCM's biggest tournament performance ever, upsetting the likes of Tato, Winchester, other players out there. And then DauT, who is one of the biggest legends of the game. If you were just, if you were, if time machines were a thing, many people might think they're using a time machine. What DauT is competing in high level tournaments? It must be 2005, right? But no, this guy is, his strategy is good, his mechanics are good, everything's so good, it's so impressive, so fun to watch, and it looks like he's just a couple seconds away from making it to the Red Bull Wololo 3 finals, and he will be up against the kid Leary. Leary, the winner of Red Bull Wololo 2. Man, am I excited. I doubt deserves it, Nilly.
Oh man, I just looked it up. DauT's biggest 1v1 victory in a non-show match was $4,000, winning Brain Champion Cup 2 in 2009. There he got 4K, already making it to the finals. He is guaranteed 5K with a shot of 8K. Best of 7 coming up next.
And two very different players. You have DauT, who is the strategist. He loves his preparation, and his micro may be questionable at times. Leary, probably the best micro in the game, and a lot of times you know what Leary's going to do, but he's able to get wins because he can just flatten people, right? So it's truly wonderful to have a strategy game and then go into a finals knowing that the players are going to be so different and so lovely in different ways. But let's sum up this game a bit here, Nilly, before we've got some other things to show you guys, and some, anyways, a lot on our minds, I'm sure. But in this particular game, ACCM, he kind of telegraphed what he was going to do by picking Incas, out defended against it nicely with the Bulgarians, and then ACCM was in Castle Age, I think 2 or 3 minutes faster. What could ACCM have done differently, if anything?
I think realizing that DauT went full defensive mode. Just queued up Man-at-Arms, Mass Tower. DauT had only one chance to get back into this game, and this is waiting for ACM to throw Eagles over and over again. It is so weird to see it, but actually ACM should have taken a bit of a less aggressive approach. Maybe add 2 TCs himself and then muscle up a bit more army after that.
Yeah, and it's almost like ACCM's approach was the correct move in 95% of games, because so many players die if they don't try and be aggressive in these settings. But DauT, expecting that, held onto his eco lead, and then upon defending with the longswords, it expanded with the macro and turned it into a game where economy wins everything. Using all the tools from Bulgarians as well. We saw some Conics, we saw some Krepos, we saw two-handed swordsman. I know that the devs would be very happy about their Civ to see it used like that, instead of some other Civs where, you know, some units are kind of forgotten. Well, let's look now at the statistics, which was the close. This was the closest game, sorry, in the entire semifinal. 416 units killed by DauT. Largest army was fairly close between the players. Lots of buildings raised there. I'm pretty sure 46 out of the 47 buildings raised was castles, because ACCM had so many. DauT actually did not have as much stone. I guess that's not too surprising, but he had way more food and wood. I think that comes back to his Vil number, his farm number, and just the eco upgrades. And the gold count was similar, but DauT also, he traded off so well against ACCM's gold units. ACCM made so many eagles.
And so many castles. 12 castles in a 1v1 as Incas. I think I've never seen that before.
12 castles for DauT to destroy in the end. And we'll go to the timeline, and you can clearly see it on the timeline as well. Even after DauT hits Castle Age, ACCM had more in the way of military, and he just kept trying to break DauT, and DauT's economy ended up keeping him in it. I mean, that's a beautiful timeline. That's what you want to see. You want to see the person in Castle Age pressuring typically, and then you want to see that person with the economy lead defending and eventually turning that into a counter. Quality Age of Empires game there. I have to see what's on the agenda here. I think we're going to have DauT in here for an interview in just a moment.
The thing is, initially, an interview is always nice, but we want to give people some rest. The finals will be up there. So we actually decided as the organization, we won't do an interview with DauT. But he said, he wants to do a winner interview, so he will stop by regardless. And apparently, he wants to share the emotions with us, Tristan, and with the chat.
Cool. And then, of course, he'll have plenty of time to rest and prepare. DauT is apparently here. DauT, hello, are you there?
Hello.
I have never heard him that happy.
I just said one word.
I saw you smile.
Um,
I heard you smile.
Yeah.
Damn right you did.
Nilly, he seems pretty happy about this. DauT, how's it feel 2021 to be in the tournament finals in Red Bull Wololo 3?
I don't know, man. What's next? Maybe even invite him for Hidden Cup? Who knows?
DauT's here to celebrate, and he's still giving me crap he didn't get an invite to Hidden Cup 3. All right, fair enough, DauT. Maybe. We'll have to see about that. I think news will be out soon. But DauT, this is almost something that stems back to when we saw the brackets against Yo. You have been doubted by many. You always make it to the top 16, and you're always competitive. You always have the skill to do so. But what do you think has made the difference for you, man, to make it to the finals this year?
There is no meta here. People need to learn, and I can prepare, and that puts a big impact. Like in both of the matches against Yo and now against ACCM, my draft went according to the plan. Like I knew, like for example, my original plan was to go wing the Incas, and then Tato told me he went Inca War against him. He didn't care, so I was like, okay, we'll pick my home up and give him the tip he wants and find the counter. And did some games with Tato, worked out in practice. Here it was tougher, but yeah, it worked out.
Great stuff. And you've said you were pretty happy with how the draft went as well. We did go into Arabia to Tars against Malians with a pretty massive feudal age. Both players losing a lot, both players forced to build a defensive tower. How did you come ahead out of that one?
That was not according to the plan, I think, for both of us. Probably like first game of the tournament, and like I was sure he opens archers. Like it was funny. Like during the draft, he expected me to ban Magyars, and then he would have Khmer for the Fridge Lake. I just banned Khmer, and then he was stuck with the two thieves for Atacama. So he had to use Malians here. I guess that's correct. But I was expecting archers. He always opened archers, and he kind of surprised me there.
I felt like, do you feel as though you could have defended more initially in feudal age with some walls, or was the reason you didn't do that because you were expecting archers and then get surprised by scouts?
Yeah, I was thinking I would have map control with my own scouts and have time to wall, have better economy, faster castle age. And didn't wall in time. The tower was not in the time, so those things pile up. Luckily, he stuck in the feudal age for a long time.
All right, DauT, one question about that game, Cav Archers. Thoughts on Cav Archers? I know there's a lot of conversation about it. Some people hate them, some people love them. You made them work there. If Cav Archers do feel different than pre-DE, what makes them work, and maybe especially in Empire Wars?
I still like Cav Archers right now on DE doesn't require micro, so I can make it work. Like the hit and run potential is nowhere close like in the wobbly days. So basically, when you don't mass any arch in the feudal age, obvious choice is Cavalry Archer. And hit and run, I mean, they punch hard, but they still cannot hit and run as efficient. So you just need a big mass. Once you can one-shot the knight or camel, you're good to go.
Okay. Nilly, I'm not sure if you have any questions before we start asking about the finals, but I've got a few about the upcoming set that'll be happening later.
I actually want to know some more about the other maps. Actually, Frigid Lake, you kind of showed that you were going for lots of eagles. What do you think about his way of addressing that?
Opening Manatans with Berbers. If he was Slavs, for sure, he got supplies for free, but it's gamble, right? I had a good backup wall opportunity with the lumber camps and houses being right there. Even I cannot fail there. So in the end, it didn't pay off for him. But obviously, if the map was different, if gold was forward, it could pay off. It's like a surprise gamble move.
And what can he do in Castle Age then? Berbers, we have sometimes seen them do something with either Camel Archers or Knights.
Well, Berbers is maybe the only civ that can stop Aztec Eagle spam with cheap knights. But obviously, on the map like this, when the farm boom is not so easy to do, cheap eagles make the difference.
And then we had Rock Slide, Portuguese against Italians. Some thoughts?
I need a second building to click up. I was tilted, not sure if you noticed that.
Yeah.
I didn't hit the
Yeah,
second
we
building
did.
that killed my timing by 1 minute, and then I just drew army left and right, and yeah, that threw me off guard.
Was it initially part of the plan to go for the stable there, or was it a last ditch? Like, oh, I need a building. Oh, click the stable.
Yeah, the plan was stable. Obviously, you saw I made scouts to snipe his
Sure.
sneaky villager, expected as well. But for some reason, I didn't build stable. I was thinking I can build it on the way to the castle age. Apparently not.
You're used to having that market, aren't you, DauT?
Yes, no market this time.
And then we went into Winged, the final game of the set. In the end, we saw 12 castles by ACCM, and you destroyed, I would say, like 8 or 9 of them. It was looking really tough for you, your end of Feudal Age, though. How did you manage to hold that?
Well, I was late on my favorite building market there. If I made market earlier, his castle age timing wouldn't be so deadly. I was just reacting. You never want to react. You want to do the correct moves and enemy react. So that was a bit of a fail. But luckily, Bulgarians free upgrade to the longsword and cheap upgrades for the blacksmith. You can hold. You can hold.
Okay, so yeah, best of 7 against Leary. You obviously know what Leary's capable of in all settings.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, okay. So expectations of what the final is going to bring here. Do you consider yourself an underdog? Do you think that you're going to smash him 4-0? And do you have a few tricks up your sleeve yet? Because I know you were watching Leary play earlier, and you even asked Leary to talk more about strategy. I saw that in Twitch chat, and he's probably watching this right now.
I know his style. He knows my style. There is no surprise. Like, we played against each other a lot on the ladder as well. Basically, just need a good home ups, and it's best of 7, so it won't be so easy. I'm out to fold the tricks.
Leary just said keep talking in chat, so he is indeed listening, and you guys will have a little bit of time to prepare. One more question: thoughts on ACCM, because it was his biggest, Age of Empires event or accomplishment ever to make it into the semis, and he knocked out Tato, your friend and teammate, as well as some others. What do you have to say about his performance in this tournament?
Well, ACCM grew a lot last year. Like, it was always a back to the main Vietnamese player, and ACCM took that away from him and stepped on even another level. Like, now he is dangerous in tournaments. It used to be like top 16, dangerous, solid player, but he was like shaky. Now he is sharp. So in the future tournaments, one more player to watch out.
All right.
How did the last set you played against Leary in an official tournament go?
Yeah, it went well, but it was best of 5.
Okay. Good luck, my man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Any last words, T90?
Nope, that's it for me. Good luck, DauT. Looking forward to it.
And we will give DauT some rest here, so you guys can take a quick look at the recap of that set, see some highlights, and then we will have a show match pre-recorded for you. Viper and Terra mixed with StarCraft 2 stars, Cyril and Drainer. They will play some 2v2 cast by Rotterdam and Dave. And after that, best of 7 finals, DauT versus Leary.
And DauT get a big hit.
Ooh, that was a ground attack. TC will finish there as well. Give me ground attack at the right hand side. Oh, that was a good one.
was a good one. And if he can get the repairs in, oh my God. What a way to start off the semis. And DauT just flattens that force. So Cav Archer offensively side, that's a lot of Cav Archers. And oh my God, they just, well, it's easy to kill everything. But ACCM doesn't even patrol.
And you misspoke there, T90. You said they engaged, but they didn't engage. They just slaughtered.
Yeah, they engaged in sacrifice to the Lord DauT, I suppose.
I'm not getting that excited over that one, but okay. And Demo tries to get the kill in there. Oh, gets the knight at least.
And the snow leopard. The poor snow leopard was killed. Don't forget about the snow leopard, man. That poor ACCM needs to make his units.
DauT just so much control, gets like the third extra resource here, the neutral ones on the map. And you can see camel archers, they will do well, they can micro quite a bit, but you need castles, and you already lost one. Second one about to go down.
Yeah, and DauT has 4 relics, so he'll always
Makes 0 sense, especially for him, a guy that is so good at scouting his opponent, then coming up with strategies, making up his mind based on the information that he got. I think he was trying to get the kill with the galley. Hera?
Just passing?
Hera's
Got him.
fine.
Well played.
Look, let's hope that the demos are popping before the rest is unpopping.
Oh my God. Oh man, fireworks! And more fireworks! Oh my goodness! And this is the power of some demos, and this is the power of some sneak attacks on this map. But overall, he has. And DauT just landed. He just denied a forward university. And he's been able to land some shots on monks and crossbows. There's not a lot there for ACCM. Feels like he's going to be out-popped, but let's see it. In that choke point, just like DauT was able to do earlier, ACCM could always defend.
Okay, trying to go for some more relics. Helping, DauT needs to retreat. The castle is helping, but maybe not even enough.
9 pierce armor on the fast fire ships. I think DauT's going to have to rely on choke points and demos. He does still have 22 war galleys. He is 1 minute away from him. And that castle's kind of stabilized him in that area, Nilly. But if you look at the yellow on the mini, yeah, it does have ballistics. ACCM, look at his fog of war. He sees virtually everything, Nilly, and he's bringing some trebs over to the left, where he's going to... He's even making cannon galleons right now. Are you kidding me? We're going to see cannon galleon? Wow.
I think it's a lovely unit. It's just so...
But as I've been saying a lot recently, DauT is treading water. Victoria in the northern corner. Victoria. Oh man, but DauT's treading water. He's still going to drown. In Leary in a best of 7, and DauT is up 2-1. The yellow, well, we see it. We see it. Whoa, what the? Just passing moment. They're all going forward.
What? But that's not a thing with Bulgarians. What is DauT even trying to achieve? There are 3 villages at the top by ACM. DauT is apparently going for stone. Defensive tower instantly. Man-at-arms for the defense. So he is going for the right counter. Defense upgrade for those villagers in. And what is that? Ah, he just goes for the shorefish. But ACM intercepts that. Is it perfect counter by ACM or what?
I think the villagers are trapped in here. DauT traps them. And the villagers are getting hit by the tower. It could have been a lot easier for DauT with 1 palisade, and there's still Inca villagers he has to worry about. But now it's 69 villagers versus 75, and DauT just had a bunch of vital time. And this is... Oh, there's a Krepos, though, in the middle! So,
That's...
ACCM could lose a bunch of villagers in return.
But DauT not really punishing the villagers there.
Now, it's very important to remember there are other areas for gold. It's spread out around the map, so ACCM will have to find that. And he's killing plenty of villagers at DauT's base. DauT, seemingly focused on the Krepos in the middle, has lost a lot of his main eco due to these raids.
Armor from the castle here for Bulgarians. That could be an option. Oh, what's happening here? That's a lot of villagers, Tristan.
Yeah, ACCM actually had placed that castle. Villagers attacking a lion, so he can kill lions. I'm just not sure if he can kill DauT, and if whatever that is going to be is a castle. To the Red Bull Wololo 3 finals, and he will be up against the kid Leary. Leary, the winner of Red Bull Wololo 2, man, am I